Oops.
Well, I was testing Brandon to see if he had
The drop board.
had my board up.
I will say Brandon looks a little. Yeah, we're definitely in the learning phase right now.
There's a lot out of sorts over
Yeah,
there.
there's a
Give me
little bit of
second.
that panicked look. You can turn down the
Yeah,
Big
turn down the
Lebowski there.
music. Yeah.
There you go. We don't need that
You're
anymore.
looking great, though. Yeah, what's up? Hey, no more What It Do.
You're done with What It Do?
Yeah, we just talked about this.
Well, I didn't know you were completely done with it. What up, Chet?
Screw that. What up, Chet? What up, squad?
It's not Chet.
Well, Chet.
Chet? We're talking to all the Chet fans out there?
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm done with What It Do or not.
I was going to say, I didn't know that
I
you
don't
were
know.
completely going away with it.
Yeah, we'll see.
I just thought maybe you're kind of toying around with a new format, but, it's a bold move to get rid of an iconic thing,
What
quite
up?
like What It Do.
What up, fam?
I do like now on all the text threads that we have with the three of us, you, me, and the great Stephen Vaughn, it usually starts with "What up, chat?"
Why do we always forget his name?
Because
I do the same
do
thing.
you? You have
Yes.
to. Yeah. Well, I think we're just used to Buckley. Like it's going to take a while.
It's the nickname thing.
Yeah. Like Buck.
He needs a nickname.
But he doesn't like it.
I know, and you know what the other
He
part of it
wants
is?
to be Steven, and it just.
But see, that's the problem right
Yeah.
there. If it were Steve,
Yeah.
I think it would be easier. But he doesn't want Steve.
Or Stevie. He doesn't. He
He
really
want
doesn't
any of
like.
that.
No.
He wants to be Stephen Vaughn, and that's. I do the exact same thing. It's like I don't forget his name. Of course, I know his name. I love the guy. He's
Yeah.
our new producer, and he'll probably be out of here in 3 weeks. Who knows? But he's great. But
Yeah.
his name is hard for some reason.
It is. Well, it doesn't flow. It's like if you, when you meet someone that has kind of a very proper name, you don't want to, like Jonathan. You don't want to call someone Jonathan. You just naturally want to go to a John or a J. And so the Steven, I don't know many Stevens. It's Steve.
He likes Stephen.
My middle name is Steven after my uncle Steve. And no one calls him, he's Steve. He's Uncle Steve. No one goes Uncle Steven.
He needs a nickname.
Yeah.
And I love LeVon James, great nickname.
But that doesn't flow
it
either.
doesn't. Yeah,
No.
it's not short enough.
No, you need something.
Um,
I'm gonna start calling him Bronco.
Bronk,
It's a Bronco.
Buck and Bronk.
Buck and Bronk.
Well, Stephen is not here today. If you're wondering why he's being so quiet,
No.
ladies and gentlemen, let's go, Brandon.
What's up?
Brandon is new at the fan,
Yes.
at least I think.
I think he's newer.
When did you start?
Newer
at the fan?
is the right
Newer.
term, yes.
When did you start?
I started in October.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because he's around. I think we just don't.
what do you do?
So I,
What would you say it is you do here?
I started with Ducks football post game.
Yeah.
I was there for the
Fun.
rest of the season, about the back half of the season. Then I've been just doing Ducks streams, women's basketball, baseball.
Yeah, all things that you don't pay
all things that
attention
no one
to
else listens
and
to.
that happen when you aren't here.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, to
That's
be
why I
fair,
haven't
someone asked the other day, you brought up Schultze, and
Yeah.
I had to double check.
He's here.
I haven't seen Schultze in
Well, he did the morning show the other day.
I haven't seen him in months. So, unless it happens between the hours of 2:45 and 6:56, you're not going to be aware.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So I don't we met once because Dusty was like, "Hey, we've got a BYU,
We got a BYU guy.
We got a
You have to
BYU
meet him.
guy."
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
kind of cool." And then he was like, "He's black," and I was like, "Well, that's a little uncomfortable."
Hey.
Well, because then you bring
Why
up.
is that uncomfortable?
Well, I think when no one would ever
God.
be like, "Hey, we got a guy from Kansas," followed up with, "Well, he's black."
I was
Then-
born in Kansas, actually, so
Were
that's
you?
funny how you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Where?
Overland Park.
Oh.
No one has ever been like, "Hey, there's a guy from Kansas. By the way, he's black." But you throw the BYU Mormon thing into it, all of a sudden
hey.
you're like,
It
"Hey,
is a qualifier.
it's a qualifier."
Don't you hate
Absolutely.
that?
No, because I'm used to it now.
Yeah.
But you get it all the
It
time.
makes me unique, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
And I do
Well,
get it.
kind
I
of.
get it all the time. Yeah, college was fun.
Because if you go to BYU and you didn't play a sport there,
Yeah, they would look at you a little confused.
yeah, it's a weird, yeah.
Which is funny. So what I did is I did hip hop dancing instead. So I looked like I at least knew what I was doing.
There's hip hop dancing.
There-
at BYU? I think
there
that's
was
against the honor code.
What?
You have to be careful about it.
Oh, my
No, there was
goodness.
a school, after school club called the Hip Hop Dance Club.
You're only allowed to thrust twice. It's like it's like
maybe.
the celebration dance. You're only allowed to pop, but no locking.
Yeah,
at
they
BYU.
were pretty. They had eyeballs on us pretty much the whole time. Make sure we were following the honor code.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing all those duck games and stuff. Now look at you.
I know.
You're
Yeah,
the big time.
We're going to the deep side of the bench to cover today.
Well, I don't think it. I mean, you're.
Yeah, you're moving up in the
You're
bullpen.
moving up,
Yeah,
man.
look, you're not. I'm not.
And by the way, for those wondering, Brandon is not that young. 38, you said?
35.
35.
But I look 23.
That's right. Steven is 38. Yeah, you look very young. But he's
I also shaved today, so that kind of takes off a couple years.
and of course married.
Yep, married for 10
Probably
years.
6 kids.
2 kids.
Oh.
4 and 2.
You better get on that. What are you doing?
We need more.
2 kids.
I'm too broke for more at this point.
Wow.
Hey, radio will get you out of that.
I hope so. That's kind of why I'm here. Get some
Great-
radio money.
great.
you know?
The standard fame and fortune contract that you're going to get here working at Odyssey. All right.
Well, it's good to have you.
Thank you.
Thanks for filling in.
Good to meet you again.
Yeah.
We have another
Yeah.
person that can be disappointed when
And
BYU
listen.
gets drilled in the first round of the tournament.
We never met.
You did.
We never met.
You met him.
I don't know. I usually act like I've met people, especially
See, there we
those
go.
that have been that
I would
are
remember.
around or
Would
like
you?
higher up.
Yeah, I would.
So I tend to act like I've met you before. I thought I did, honestly.
I don't
did,
think we
'cause,
met.
you
I had
know,
only
you
heard
kinda-
tales.
When you're the new guy, you kind of get shuffled around and meet
Yeah.
everybody and everything. So I thought I met you. Maybe I just saw you.
I'm never
and
here.
I thought I met you.
Yeah.
Um,
We never met. That was the first time we met.
Yes,
I think
it
you're.
was.
Trust me.
I think what's
Properly,
happening. I
yes.
think what's happening here is I can see through this like you use Neutrogena. Brandon feels uncomfortable that he has indeed met you and you've insisted that you have not. Therefore, being the new guy, he is deferring to you. You can hear it where he's like, probably it's okay, Brandon.
We never met.
Brandon, it's happened. We had an IT guy here, one of our engineers that had been here for like 5 years, and Rob had no idea who he was. So
Right.
don't feel
No, I
bad.
knew who he was. I just didn't know his name.
Don't feel bad that you met and that Rob doesn't remember you. It's okay. You can stick
Listen.
by your guns that you met because the odds are, I'll tell you, the overwhelming bet favorite right now in Vegas between who is right, you misremembering meeting Isaac Rob or Rob misremembering not meeting you. Look, there's one of those that's the clear favorite.
Take the plus money. I'm telling you.
I'm a nice guy, so I
Cash that
I tend to-
ticket.
He's
tend to
being
take the
very
way
nice to
out.
you right now and is
Well-
trying to take the high road.
I'm
That's
telling
the
you.
Mormon way.
Exactly.
I'd only heard of Brandon.
Because he's a man of the Lord.
I had only heard tales, and now we've met, and now he's our producer.
Now he's
do
our
it.
producer, yes.
Stephen may never come back.
Maybe.
Not if he wins that. Not if he places enough big bets on
Yeah,
the
Steven-
4th grade basketball tournament that he's at.
I think he said his kid is a 5th grader.
Yeah, it's 4th and 5th graders
Yeah.
combined.
His kid's 11.
Yes.
And he has a basketball tournament today, so Stephen is off today.
Apparently, there is a state tournament for 4th and 5th graders trying to win a state title as an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
So
Where do you think they're playing?
I would assume down in Salem, right?
I don't know. That is our state capital.
I don't know why. Wasn't Hoopla down there? I'm going to defer to that. Maybe down at Matthew Knight Arena. Maybe down there.
I don't know, squad.
Couldn't tell you. If you're looking for someone to inform you on where the 5th grade basketball tournament is, I can assure you, not me.
Well, Joey Harrington will be on today, 5:30. We're going to talk to him about cool stuff like football, and he just got back from Indianapolis, watching the quarterbacks throw and all that cool stuff. So we'll talk to him about that.
We got the World Baseball Classic starting up here.
5:30. Yeah, I'd like to start by talking about the World Baseball Classic.
Sure.
Have they? Is the U.S. Out there yet?
US starts at 5.
Yeah.
5.
So
Playing
Puerto Rico getting ready to. Well, I guess they're in the middle of it right now. They just showed. Who was that was throwing out the ceremony of first pitch? It was a handsome devil.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm assuming someone from Puerto Rico, because
Who we playing?
You would think, but
You
I
would
don't know.
think.
We're playing Brazil.
Yeah, the
Brazil.
spread. Did you see the spread? The Brazil. Did you hear him? Did you hear him?
yeah, they're a little.
Brazil.
Dan, did you serve a mission?
I did, but I served in Boston English speaking, so that was basically another language.
Lame. Did you pick up an accent though?
Nah.
No, lame. Yeah, he did the Jason Swigart. That Brazil.
Brazil.
I'm guessing the spread is quite high.
9.5.
Yeah, I know a lot of Brazilians in the jiu-jitsu world. I've never heard them once talk about baseball. Just don't think. I think that's more of a soccer and strangle you sort
I
of
went
thing.
through their team.
Anybody?
No. There's one kid who's 17 though on their team. I guess he's their best player. Like he's a prospect.
Yeah.
He's 17 years old.
So what you're saying is don't bet on Brazil.
Well, you can. I mean, you can get 9.5. I mean, that's a pretty good number.
Would you take Brazil in the?
No, I know nothing about. Like I mean,
Well, have some guts.
yeah. Well,
You're getting
that's like
you're getting 11 runs.
that's like throwing a dart. I'm
Yeah.
getting 9.5 runs.
Oh, that's right, 9.5. Tease it up.
I like how you changed the spread there.
I don't know why, but for some reason, 11 seemed a little more realistic for me.
Yeah, no baseball classic betting for me, but I will watch it. I'd like to start there if we can in our next segment because there's something about the World Baseball Classic that it is suddenly popular. You know?
Yeah.
Like it hasn't always been.
No, well, it went away for a while too.
Right. So it's only been around for like 20 years, and it's got people buzzing.
Yeah, it should.
Should it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well then why is it buzzing now and hasn't before?
I got some opinions on that.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
My God, bringing the opinions.
Good thing we got 4 hours.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Can't talk about some weird mission to Boston where he didn't pick up an accent for 4 hours.
Nah.
What's your wife do?
She's a hairstylist.
This is
Nice.
the get to know me.
I had a feeling it was going to be a get to know Brandon section.
Yeah, it
so-
usually is. Well, we're curious,
No,
I mean,
that's fine.
You
It's
know,
all good.
we're
I
not
got
just
nothing to
going to let you sit over there and not
And not
I mean,
do
that's
anything for
boring.
4 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. Be like Steven. Steven just sits over there
I think Steven just like we
placing bets.
Yeah, we're getting to know Steven, and
Yeah, there's not much to the old fella. is there?
whatever the human equivalent is to just a piece of plain white bread, and not like Wonder Bread either. No, more of kind of like a Kroger sort of brand. I feel like we've got Steven Vaughn, and he's happy.
He loves it.
He loves it.
Yeah.
He does not want to break out. He's got no time for 9 grain.
You know who loves
No,
him?
give him that white bread.
You know who's in on him? Old man Rob.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's
He listens and he's like, I kind of like that guy.
Midwestern sensibilities.
What he says is, he's like, I just like how comfortable he is with who he is. Like, you know what? You're right about that.
And when you get the approval of Jack Robb, you've
Yeah.
done something.
He's a good judge of character, that one.
Yeah.
Hates you. God. Cannot
Don't
stand
tell me
it.
that. I've always wanted to rattle some ice with old man Rob.
He loves you. I think he hates me. Is really the
Isn't that always weird? Like when
Yeah.
you bring people around your parents and they treat them way better than they've ever
like,
treated you.
finally someone cool.
I'm your son. Like, whatever. This guy over here,
Yeah,
though.
but this guy.
This guy's great. Love what this guy's got going on.
All right, we're going to do a little World Baseball Classic talk on a Friday.
Let's do it.
Next on The Fan.
The new home of the Portland Timbers is the
All right, welcome back to our show. It is Friday, but you probably already knew that.
I would hope so. Although maybe you didn't, and now you're like, oh my God.
Oh my God, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If you thought today was Thursday or Wednesday and you found out recently it's Friday, what a nice little bonus.
Yeah. My parents, they don't really know what day of the week it is.
Yeah.
They're retired.
Retired is like being on vacation, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
COVID was a little like that. All the days just kind of mushed together. Holiday breaks have that. Like if you catch me in the middle of a Christmas vacation, I couldn't tell you what day it is.
Totally.
Yeah.
Is there something too, though, losing the excitement of a Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah, but I
know what I mean?
think when you're old, you got to be careful about the excitement levels. I think you want to stay probably a little steady Eddie. Like I don't know many olds that are getting fired up about too many things. I think you're on.
Well, I don't know about fired up, but you look forward to weekends.
Yeah, but whenever.
But now you don't.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens when you get there. Maybe just every day. You're just when you're on cruise control. It's just every day's a weekend.
Every day's a weekend.
Every day's a weekend.
You look forward to to tomorrow.
Yeah, feeling good.
All right. Well, let's talk a little World Baseball Classic.
Let's do it.
It's underway.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any scores or anything.
I got Colombia v. Puerto Rico. I'm trying to do my best Jason Swigart.
That was terrible.
It was terrible. I can't do it. I have an awful American. Yeah.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, it's so bad. Like I'm trying to learn Japanese from my gal.
Nolan Arenado's out there.
My accent is just beyond atrocious.
So if you look at Seth Lugo is pitching for Puerto Rico.
It's not good either. Maybe we just leave that to the Jason Swigards of
So
the
the
world.
Puerto Ricans have Seth Lugo and Nolan Arenado. It's always fun to watch this and go, oh,
you're kind of reminded
Australian?
of who's who. Well, and sometimes too is like you got like bloodlines. You don't actually have to be from there. Who's the Japanese guy? We talk about him every year.
Blep, blep. Oh, you're talking about Lars Nootbaar.
Yeah, yeah.
His name's Lars Nootbaar, and he plays for Japan.
He plays for Japan.
I think he's just a front runner.
But like, if we had one, I could play. If I could play for Team Sweden in an international competition because my mom was born and raised there.
I could play for Mexico.
Could you?
No.
You got some raw, deep-seated bloodlines.
I'm Lily White, my friend.
Down in Jalisco.
So yeah, what is it about the World Baseball Classic? So it's people are buzzing about it.
Yeah.
And I know there's some of you out there that are going, "Well, I'm not, but who cares?"
Yeah.
Well, it's okay.
It's not everybody.
It's not everybody. But this thing is really catching fire, and I just want to ask why, because it's not baseball season yet. They do it like every 3 years, and it took a hiatus because of COVID.
Sure.
And pitchers are pretty cautious because they're not fully bringing it yet.
Yeah.
It's an unusual format, yet the atmospheres are amazing. The players have all bought into it, and it's kind of become must-see.
Yeah.
What the hell changed?
Two things. One, I do think that player buy-in is the most important thing, right? And we learned this about the Four Nations hockey tournament. We figured that out this year in the NBA All-Star Game, certainly with the Olympics. I mean, didn't you say that who was fired up about they were saying a lot of these baseball players got fired up about the
U.S.
The
guys.
U.S.
Well, they were at spring training watching the hockey team.
Yeah.
And they did. Well, so what they're talking about now is not the World Baseball Classic, but the U.S. guys watch the U.S. hockey team.
They're going to play in the Olympics.
And they want to now play in the Olympics,
Yeah.
and they are lobbying the Players Union to make that happen, and it sounds like that is going to happen, and it will be the first time ever because the Olympics are being hosted in L.A., so the U.S. team is automatically in. You don't have to qualify if you're the host. And so the U.S. will most likely, it's not done yet, but most likely will be Major League Baseball players in the Olympics for the first time ever.
So I think you have some of that in recency. We've got a little national pride going here in the States. And I think to the foreign countries, it has always mattered. Remember the last time we had this, and this was the other one too, I think that game between the U.S. and Japan with Trout and Ohtani, I think that elevated the profile of this game. Because for a lot of people...
Of this tournament.
Yeah, that put Ohtani... I mean, he was already obviously a big deal. That really helped cement Shohei as the biggest player in baseball. And it launched him to even new stratospheres. And those foreign teams have always cared. it is a big deal to them. If you win the World Baseball Classic in one of those countries, if you're from the Dominican or Puerto Rico or you're Japanese and you win, it is a huge deal. And I do think that the U.S. kind of did the "we're too cool for school" thing, and I think that's changed. I think they didn't like losing to Japan. They've seen what this has done with the Four Nations and then the Olympic hockey tournament. And I think you're now getting buy-in from the U.S. players. You're hearing them come out and speak about it. You know that these players are taking it seriously. And so I think those things this has been a 3-year build where I think all of a sudden there is some serious juice around this. Certainly more juice than this tournament has ever had.
So this started via Bud Selig, and he announced it in May of 2005.
Yeah.
So it's been about 20 years. And I just remember the U.S. owning it back then.
Did we win the first couple?
I'm looking here.
Because we had 06, 09, 13, 17 break. Because I remember we went down to spring training and I remember like that in 06. I remember it starting up, but I don't remember who won.
The first thing to know is that the U.S., of all the players in this tournament, of all the players in Major League Baseball on a roster, 73% of them are from the United States. So right there,
well, it is our sport.
The U.S. should, but it's become
a
lot more international. I mean, you look at Japan, like you said, Japan just won it last time.
Yes.
And the Dominican Republic has like 10% of the league, and so it's definitely changing, but it's still, I mean, the vast majority, 3/4 are Americans.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the results here. Yeah, the U.S. Japan won the first. Japan won the first two.
Yeah, so Japan has won twice. The Dominican Republic has won once. The United States won in 2017, and then Japan won
again.
So
we've only won one.
We won one.
Boy, that is revisionist history in my brain. I just remember it starting and going, "Oh God, U.S. is going to dominate." Maybe you're right. It was more of just the idea of we didn't really care, or whatever. Because there's no way we should have been losing in 2006, but we did, and then we lost again in 2009. But now you've got U.S. player buy-in, and I don't know if you've seen the U.S. lineup, but it's
ridiculous.
Freaking stacked.
It is absolutely loaded. The only thing is, some of our pitchers are a little hesitant to go out and throw this early in the year. I think this tournament would have even more buzz if it was like the Four Nations and they did it during the All-Star break. If you had the World Baseball Classic and you did it during the All-Star break, you took a little extra time, it'd be even better, because then I think you'd be more inclined to get pitcher buy-in.
Well, then, if you could offset, because this year it's the same year as, well, no, when's the LA Games? 2
years from now.
That's 2 years. Okay, so so they stagger it.
Yeah.
So they could do that because they're thinking about changing the All-Star break to allow, they're going to have to change the All-Star break if Major League players play in the Olympics.
Yeah.
So they're going to extend the All-Star break by 2 weeks.
So
they should just keep that same thing.
It would make it better.
And then play the World Baseball Classic.
Every 3 or 4 years, this would make it better. But you have buy-in. There's a little bit of that national pride that has creeped in. The other countries have mattered. And I think the U.S. is tired of losing. I do think when Ohtani struck out Trout, I think that was a tipping point moment where people were like, we're tired of this. And once we decide to care about something, I mean, it makes all the difference in the world. It's buy-in. Because I'll tell you, in other countries, they have not had this problem of it not being a big deal. It's only not been a big deal here. And now it's popping. And so I do think there's some real genuine buzz around this. But certainly you got to believe that coming on the heels of the ice hockey team, that everyone is a little more jazzed up. Plus, let's be honest, for a lot of people right now in the country, God, we need something to feel good about, right? We need a little something.
Well, we got our hockey bros.
Yes.
Out there and broettes.
Yeah, you need something to kind of take your mind because things aren't necessarily going great. And
what are you talking about?
These moments can kind of be, at least for a brief moment, it can be a way to, have a little national pride.
All right, well, U.S. kicks it off with Logan Webb.
Yes.
Against Takahashi. He plays for Brazil. He's starting for Brazil.
Yeah, something tells me we're going to be just fine in this one.
Yeah, U.S. huge favorites.
Yeah.
And they start in about an hour and a half. And then the championship game is in Miami, March 17th, but no one will watch it because TGL playoffs start that night.
You want to talk about national pride? I mean, come on. When TGL's
That's
on
right.
the line. I mean,
Yeah, that's right.
It's
going to be tough.
apples to oranges there.
A scheduling faux pas of epic proportions by the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah. Like, I wonder if this, because right now, like, Fanatics screwed up. And I mentioned you can't buy a U.S. hockey jersey right now. They don't exist. And they were saying that they've already ordered a bunch. They're prepared for the U.S. to win this. I don't know if it'll have the same sort of fervor, but Fanatics assured people that they are not making that mistake twice. They're loading up on you. If you want to buy a USA World Baseball Classic jersey or hat, they are prepared.
Boy, can I listen, I get that the U.S. has a loaded team.
Yeah.
We are minus 110 to win it.
Yes, we are the favorite.
Can I just offer you Japan at plus 400?
Yes, take them.
I mean,
it does
that
matter.
is not a bad bet, dude.
No.
They're good.
Yes. Well, they've won 4 of them.
I thought you said 3.
Have they won? Yeah, they won the first 2 and then this last one because the Dominican won 1 and then
And they have the
us.
best player in the world.
Yeah.
And by the way, Dominican is actually they're plus 325.
Their lineup is pretty good too.
Yeah. But they are good. But I don't know. There's something about the Japanese.
Yeah.
I think it just matters to them.
It
more.
does. There's another one too. Like I wear a World Baseball Classic hat around for Team Japan. The BTJ's dad got it for me. And when they won that last one, same thing. You could not. That entire country sold out of every piece of gear from that team. Like it was a whole thing. And it's cool that we are now getting that same kind of buy-in. I don't like when we pretend that this stuff doesn't matter. When we're the only ones that do the whatever, which is why I thought it was cool at the NBA All-Star game. But that was cool that they cared, but did it say something that, it was Wemby. Wemby was the one that took that seriously. And you wonder, had he not, for whatever reason, the international guys don't have the same attitudes toward these things. I think when they grow up over there, representing your country means way more than it does here. Probably because of the size of our country and we're a little more divided. We're a little more...
we're younger.
We're younger. We're a little more mixed in. We have like a lot of different cultures.
We're also very cocky.
Yes.
Like we expect to win. And then when we don't, we
like
just pretend like we don't care.
Yeah.
That's a weird dynamic. I don't know why that is.
But every other country in the world, when you wear your team or your country's flag or play for that country's team, it's a huge deal. And
maybe we're coming around.
I hope so. America, yeah!
We're coming around.
America, woo!
All right, well, it starts at 5. U.S. Versus Brazil. What?
Your Brazilian accent's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Coming up next, the few bros who made themselves money at the Combine. Here is Brandon with his debut SportsCenter on
Let's
Primetime.
go, Brandon.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a SportsCenter update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Blazers wrapping up a 5-game road trip in Houston tonight against the Rockets. Denny Avia is doubtful. Chris Murray is questionable. Tip-off just after 5 o'clock on KUNP, Xfinity Channel 1016. Portland is a 6.5-point underdog. Also in Houston tonight in that same time slot, you heard the guys talk about it earlier, Team USA begins their World Baseball Classic campaign against Brazil. Logan Webb from the Giants is the probable starting pitcher for the Americans. That game will air on Fox at 5. The defending champs, Japan, mercy ruled Chinese Taipei 13-0 earlier this morning. Shohei Ohtani, 3 for 4 with a grand slam. In college hoops, ESPN's Shams Charania reports North Carolina's freshman standout Caleb Wilson will miss the remainder of the season after breaking his right thumb during practice Thursday. Sources say Wilson has already had surgery and is expected to be cleared during the NBA pre-draft process. Some more moves in the NFL today. The Texans have granted running back Joe Mixon's request to be released from the team. Mixon missed the entire 2025 season with a foot injury. Lions offensive tackle Taylor Decker has requested a release. He played 10 seasons in Detroit. And the Raiders are set to release their starting QB from last season, Geno Smith, barring a trade before the start of the new league year. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks, the Fan Sports Network.
All right, the debut sports snort from Brandon went off without a hitch. What a pro.
Someone said coming out strong. Great sports update.
The fans are loving it. Future in radio. Your money problems are over, Brandon.
I appreciate it. Appreciate the love.
Someone only gave him a 98%. It's insane.
Hey, I'm still
Why?
grooming.
I don't know. Apparently,
Dude,
he didn't stick the landing. I don't know.
Suk, you've been around long enough, as I have. You have heard some debut sports snorts.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, I wish we kept. There is so much good audio
It just got
from the
thrown
past
away.
that is gone that, oh my God.
I was driving in years and years ago. This had to be 15 plus years ago. The great Eric McAvoy. It was on a weekend.
I was hoping you wouldn't name him.
No, he's getting named. It's my all-time favorite sports update. He just quit.
Yeah,
he quit.
He got too flustered.
He got so flustered. It was something like he was giving scores like in college football, and he forgot to say who was playing. So he goes, in other action, it's 46-33. Pittsburgh versus West Virginia. 46.
I'm pretty sure I lost sleep thinking that was going to happen to me.
And then there was like this long pause, and he tried to start again, and he screwed up again, and you can hear him go,
Here's the problem.
and then he just let the bed play out. He quit.
Yeah, he did quit.
He quit in the middle of the update.
And
I've never laughed so hard in my life.
I think he quit the business not long after.
He was like, I'm done.
Great dude, Michigan State
Yeah.
fan, big drinker,
Great guy.
loved him. He was awesome, but he just,
It wasn't it.
not his thing. But where he got in trouble was where a lot of them get in trouble, and that is when you guys switch from the copy to the scoreboard.
Yeah.
That screwed up Timmy the Man Monis.
The transition
so
the
bad.
transition can be tough.
Just write it down. Like nobody needs 2-1 in the third inning. Just you don't need just the main things, and then get out of there. Keep it simple.
I wish we had it. You could hear in the moment his soul just broke. His will, and then there was like a 30-second bed runoff, and then he just goes, Eric McAvoy. And then and I was like, that's the greatest update of all time. I've never seen anyone just punt.
It was rough.
It was beautiful.
Jason Puckett had one where he didn't know his mic wasn't on, and he just let the music bed run the whole time. That was good.
Gosh.
And he's a radio professional up in Seattle.
Yeah, we love Puck.
And then Timmy the Man Monis had one that
Yeah.
was just, and he's still around.
Why
we love
don't
Timmy.
why don't we keep those?
I don't know. We have deleted so much good audio. God.
Hey, we've got some new audio coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Tease for Monday.
Tease for Monday.
We got some.
We got some new feedback.
Yeah.
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 We love when people call in with feedback.
They're taking phone calls.
I don't know how someone found the number, but they did.
Well, we are listed in the phone book.
You can just, is there like but there's no one at the front desk.
Exactly. That's why he left a message.
Where does that number go?
Leave a message.
And someone checks it.
Or you can type in your extension, but
yeah.
nobody ever knows extensions.
Yeah, well,
So Ryan Cooley played a piece of audio for us today that is absolute gold.
boy, it's tasty.
And it is a critique of our show from
Yeah.
a listener, and we will play it for you on Monday. We're not going to do it today.
And I'm not going to lie, there were pieces of it that were quite fair.
Yeah, I don't want any slip-ups on my debut
No.
here, so
No,
we'll save that.
Yeah, we'll save that for Steven.
Vaughn to
He
handle.
was the only thing is a little vulgar, buddy. A little vulgar.
Yeah.
How about
And
clean
he
it up?
accused
Little
you
vulgar
of
for
being
my
vulgar.
liking, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You got young Mormon
I wasn't
ears
raised
over
like
here.
that.
That's right.
He's not young, though. He's 35.
Well, he looks young.
I look young around here, which I appreciate, and which is why I love
You
coming
do
here,
look
because I
very
look
young.
younger than the rest of you.
Well, you know,
35. Well, that's,
I have to tell you
look
something.
at that shot right there.
I know. Well, it's true. You got to be ready for these now. We're the old guys.
Now we're taking shots.
When you become 50, everybody looks young.
I'm not 50. Speak for yourself.
You're almost 50.
Speak for yourself, old man.
All right, where were we?
I don't know. We were talking about the World Baseball Classic, and then we moved on to
that's
something else.
Great sports update, though. Nice little debut.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Nice
Bravo.
little
Bravo.
debut. I wonder if you think Brandon's gunning for lowercase's job right now? Is that what we have going on?
See, the thing is, lowercase is
I
like
just want a next opportunity after tonight. That's
he
all I
kind of
want.
sounds like lowercase. They
Fair
both
statement.
kind of have a little bit of that deeper pipe, and they both look 12 years old.
They do.
But lowercase, I think, is 12. But BYU branded in there apparently is 35. I honestly think it's the Mormon living, I think, keeps you like young. I got a neighbor of mine who's like that. He's an LDS guy, him and his wife, and they both look like they're teenagers, but they're like my age. I think when you don't smoke, drink, and do awful things, I think there's a youthful glow. Maybe we can get him a drug problem while he's here.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well, let's take a break, and when we come back, I have a list of a couple bros, and I believe there might be a duck on here who made themselves a bunch of money at the combine.
A couple ducks made themselves some money.
And we also have a duck who is among the college football potential breakout stars for next season. Isn't this exciting?
Dude, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Fam.
What's up, Chad?
We will be right back on The Fan.
This is the
So still putting a bow on the combine. We'll talk more about that with Joey Harrington, 5:30 today. CBS Sports' Josh Edwards has a list of the 5 NFL draft prospects who tested themselves into the first round at the combine. Mm-hmm. So this will not include Kenyon Sadiq because he was, he made waves there. Yeah. He's already in the first round. Yeah. So they've got Caleb Banks, who is a defensive lineman from Florida, and he's enormous.
He's an interesting guy in that he just hasn't played a lot of football.
He's 6'6", 330.
His numbers, did you see what he did at the combine?
Yeah, didn't they say 32-inch vert?
Yeah, I'll pull him up here. It's one of the more
he ran a 5 flat 40.
Yeah, it's one of the more eye-popping results that we had at this year's combine. And he was a guy that was supposed to take a big jump this year and then got injured, came back at the end of the year and wanted to prove something. And so he kind of came in as one of those, it's kind of untapped potential. And then he went out at that size. He's an enormous human being. As you mentioned, 6'6", 330 pounds, ran basically a 5 flat 40.
A 5 fat 40.
Yes.
It's actually true.
At a 32-inch vert and a 9.6 broad jump, really good. He just looks the part. And so
fat, uneducated.
That is not a fat, uneducated man. That's a man that just made himself a lot of money.
Got a lot of friends that fat.
Well, I mean, aren't they testing better than ever now? I mean, these guys are specimens more so. There's more of them now than ever.
Sure. I mean,
but it doesn't mean it. I mean, there was an article today about 40 times. Mm-hmm. Somebody put the pen to paper on 40 times, and they only looked at receivers. Yeah. But I think this is true of quarterbacks too. It's because Patrick Mahomes is not fast.
No.
He didn't run a fast 40.
No.
With receivers, they I'll see if I can pull it up, but they ran the numbers on does a fast 40 time for a receiver equate to better production? And the answer is largely no.
No.
It isn't. As a matter of fact, they're just fast. That's typically all they are. Catch some, drop a lot. The better pass catchers are typically guys who don't run the fastest 40s.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's true of a lot of positions.
I think when you go to the combine, there's usually certain metrics that as long as you fit into those metrics and you aren't like a huge outlier, and also size. If you're a bigger receiver, you don't need to run 4.3. If you're a little guy, you better be able to run real fast. Also, how do you change directions? That's why people run the 3-cone and the shuttle. The broad jump and the vertical jump measure explosiveness. So we get caught up in the bench press and we get caught up in the 40, and those are not the most relevant times to NFL teams. But it does show you overall athleticism. Like when Kenyon Sadiq goes out and puts out that sort of combine performance, or Dylan Thieneman, it lets you know that what you're seeing on film, which is really productive players, is backed up by elite athleticism. And then you look at in the drills and we see that you're fluid and all that. It just checks all the boxes. And that's what you're looking for when you're drafting someone in the first 2 or 3 rounds. You're looking for the safest prospect possible as opposed to taking a flyer on the guy later in the draft.
Yeah, Bartu just texted me. He said 4 of the 5. So he used AI. Mm-hmm. He's big into AI now.
Yeah.
And he said 4 of the 5 fastest NFL teams in 2025 missed the playoffs. And it's true. It's a little. I mean, we overinflate. It's not that it doesn't matter.
Yes.
We just overinflate 40 times because they're
100%.
They're really exciting when they're really fast. But yeah, I pulled up that. So it was Pro Football Focus, and
the only position that really requires you to be fast is corner. If you're going to be a secondary guy, if you're going to play on the outside, you better be able to run. And every corner does run. There's no such thing as, in fact, I think I saw where it's now been 6 or 7 years since a corner at the combine ran under 4.6. They just don't, there's no slow corners in the NFL. Doesn't exist. That's the one position that you better be able to run.
So he's asking, do faster receivers deliver more? And ultimately, it says slower receivers often have more NFL success. Those running between a 4.4 40 and a 4.59 40 have produced better results in the last few years.
But this is where we get stupid. Running a 4.4 40 is not slow.
Well, but it's slower compared to the ones.
Burners.
So faster wideouts can be thrust into more constricted roles, believing that speed stresses defenses. These prospects may run more deep routes, which can yield less consistency. They oftentimes have more drops.
Well, and also, too, the guy that runs 4.3 is usually small. Like you're
exactly.
not getting, for the most part, you're not getting a 6'1", 215-pound receiver. So the idea that AJ Brown's not going to run 4.3, but he's going to be a better receiver that's built for the long haul and can do more things than the guy that runs 4.3, who tends to be a smaller guy that, can be a bit of a one-trick pony.
I think what happens is, and I remember John Ross was like this.
Yeah.
It's like just because they run a really fast 40, we assume they're going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And it's just not.
No.
It's not the case.
And I think most teams are starting to wise up to that and not doing the dumb Raider thing of Darius Haywood-Bay. Oh, you ran 4.3. Cool, I'm going to draft you.
Well, the only one that's really been stellar is Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, it flashes, but
and Tyreek Hill is very fast, but Tyreek Hill is also built like a brick house. Percy Harvin was this way, smaller guy, but there's a difference between being short and well built. And I hate to be it, but DeAnthony Thomas, right? Like Tez Johnson. And not that Tez Johnson's not a decent NFL player, but those guys are not built the way Tyreek Hill is built. And Percy Harvin. Steve Smith was this way. You can be small, but those guys are thick.
So this study says faster receivers are typically superior in yards after catch, yards per reception, and deep target rate, while those in slower categories dropped fewer passes, had more success in contested situations, and were better at gaining yards after contact.
Yeah.
Which all makes sense.
Yeah. But you're also not seeing a lot of NFL receivers that run 4.7 and 4.8s. They do happen, but that's why I said you're inside the zone. Because what did you say? 4.4 to what was it? 4.59? Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying from about 4.6 and up.
Yeah.
That's when the and they break it down into type of coverage.
Sure.
But against man coverage, it drops after 4.6.
Yeah. So like you take a guy like Carnell Tate at Ohio State. Like we made this big dumb thing about did he run 4.54 or 4.56 or did he run 4.46? And the answer to that question is no one cares. He's fast enough. He's one of the best receivers, and by the way, probably will be the first receiver off the board because he's fast enough. Now, if he had ran 4.8, you ain't getting drafted in the first round. Because again, at that point, it limits what you can do physically. Like Kenyon Sadiq was going to be tight end number one no matter what. And so he goes out and runs 4.39 or 4.35, depending on who you want to talk to. And I've seen people be like, well, now you have to draft him in the top 10. No, you don't. You already knew he was tight end one. So if you had him as the 22nd prospect and you knew he was going to run 4.4, the fact that he ran 4.39 or 4.35 doesn't change anything. You knew he was an athletic freak. And that doesn't make him a better tight end. It just makes him a freak athlete, and you already knew that. But we as a media, we put way more into this than NFL teams do.
Yeah, because the combine's usually going on when nothing else is going on.
Yeah.
And then we get headlines like 4.34, oh my God. No. So the last thing on this Pro Football Focus thing, just real quick, he says, we are admittedly splitting hairs here. A few hundredths of a second in February does not define an NFL career. But when you zoom out over a 5-year sample, the data paints a fairly steady picture that elite NFL receivers tend to live in the middle. The 4.4 to 4.59 range consistently delivers the strongest blend of versatility and production.
Yes. And again, I simply make the argument that I bet if we looked at all the guys that run 4.3, I'll bet you that is one body type. And that body type is not built for the rigors of the NFL. Just isn't.
So now we have to break. So we only got to one guy.
Real quick, too, I'll bet you that the bench press is the exact same thing for offensive linemen. I'll bet you that really high bench press offensive linemen aren't great NFL offensive linemen. You don't want to be in the 18 range, but I'll bet you also don't want to be in the high 30s to 40s. Because to be an offensive lineman, what do we hear about all the time with the Will Campbell and is arm length, right? And when you're built like me and you got barrel chest and tiny arms, you can do a lot of bench presses. I could go out now at 48 and do more reps at 225 than a lot of the offensive tackles at the combine. In fact, the majority of offensive tackles. That doesn't make me a good football player. It means I have a specific body type that really isn't made to be a productive NFL offensive lineman. But if you got 34-inch arms, it's really hard to bench press because you have a long way to go. Lane Johnson, I bet if we looked up Lane Johnson, who's the best right tackle to ever play in the NFL, I'll bet you that he did somewhere in the low 20s at that. And it doesn't, because you don't want to be one body type. You want to be long and athletic. And as long as you are strong enough, and last time I checked, Lane Johnson is strong enough, that I bet you that's the equivalent with offensive linemen and high bench press numbers, or defensive linemen and high bench press numbers and receivers. Because it's just, it locks you into one body type, and that is not the body type that is meant to be dominant.
All right, these are the 5 NFL draft prospects who tested themselves into the first round at the Combine. Caleb Banks, the big boy from Florida, defensive lineman, is the first one. There is a Duck on the list and a quarterback. We'll get to that next on The Fan.
Chris Mack here to help you beat the books with Westwood One Sports.
George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, the Blazers wrapping up a 5-game road trip in Houston tonight against the Rockets. Denny Avia and Chris Murray both have been ruled out. Tip-off just after 5 o'clock on KUNP, Xfinity Channel 1016. Portland is a 6.5-point underdog. Also in Houston tonight in that same time slot, Team USA begins their World Baseball Classic campaign against Brazil. Logan Webb from the Giants is the probable starting pitcher for the Americans. That game will air on Fox at 5. The defending champs, Japan, mercy-ruled Chinese Taipei 13-0 earlier this morning. Shohei Ohtani, 3 for 4 with the grand slam. In college hoops, ESPN's Sham Charania reports North Carolina's freshman standout Caleb Wilson will miss the remainder of the season after breaking his right thumb during practice Thursday. Sources say Wilson has already had surgery and is expected to be cleared during the NBA pre-draft process. Some more moves in the NFL today. The Texans have granted running back Joe Mixon's request to be released from the team. Mixon missed the entire 2025 season with a foot injury. Lions offensive tackle Taylor Decker has requested a release from the team. He played 10 seasons in Detroit. And the Raiders are set to release their starting QB from last season, Geno Smith, barring a trade before the start of the new league year. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Recruiting with Andrew Nemec, Thursday evenings at 7, after Isaac and Souk on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, welcome back to Hour 2 of today's radio program. Or shall I say, today's podcast.
Yeah.
Fam.
I did some digging because we were talking about the 40 being overrated for receivers. Like, we love fast receivers. And like with linemen, we love the bench press. It's like, oh, man, bench press. And I think anything over like 35 is probably the equivalent of a 4.3. Like, if you do 35 reps at the combine, you're next level. Like, that's a different kind of strong. And you get to 40, then it's like, oh my God. I looked up the best tackles, like in the NFL. Trent Williams did 23. Jordan Mailata did 22. Penei Sewell had 30. Tristan Wirfs had 24. Lane Johnson had 28. Seeing like it's the same sort of thing. Like, you're strong enough. That's like, I think that is the equivalent of running 4.5. 4.5. Like, you're strong enough.
But you have to have the combine to get the baseline.
Yes.
To make sure, to see what guys don't meet the baseline.
None of those guys are like, if you went in there and you did, 16, someone would be like, oh boy, does he have enough, lead in his ass to move people? But at some point you're like, yeah, dude, you can do it 20 whatever times. You got super long arms. I see your tape. You're really good. So we fall in love with one aspect. Just like being a receiver, if you run 4.3 but you got bad hands, you run crappy routes, like we look at you and like there's a reason why you weren't very productive. As an old lineman, you can be this big Hulk that moves the gym all day, and then I watch you and I'm like, dude, he's really stiff. He can't bend over at the waist. He's got short arms, and he's not very athletic. And you're like, who gives a crap whether or not he's strong?
That's me.
All of
you just described me.
Yeah.
Can't bend over at the waist, short arms.
The Kansas
not
Hulk?
Very strong. Yeah,
Yeah.
Anyway, coming up, we're going to talk to Joe Harrington.
Yes.
He was at the Combine, so we'll wrap that up at 5:30. We have the college football breakout players for next season, and there is an Oregon Duck on the list. But here we're talking about the 5 NFL draft prospects who tested themselves into the first round at the Combine. Mm-hmm. We got a little sidetracked with speed talk there. But Caleb Banks, the Florida defensive lineman, is first on the list, and he's 6'6", 330.
And he's probably the one guy that the tape doesn't show, and there's not enough consistency there, but there's flashes, and then the athletic profile, and there's just not many guys like him, and someone will take a flyer on those guys because they don't come around very often.
So number 2 on the list is Indiana wide receiver Omar Cooper Jr.
Yeah.
And I always liked him, and watching him at Indiana, he was awesome.
Yes, he was. And he was a guy that probably people thought the athleticism was going to be a big knock on him. There was kind of one of those where people were like, well, he's a really good college receiver. He plays in that system. And then he went out and showed that not only does he have all the route running and the hands that you want, he's also a really explosive athlete that ran 4.42 and has a 37-inch vert. And so you take his production on film that didn't really look like a great athlete, and then although you're like, oh my God, there is all this athleticism, and he probably moved himself up half a round, maybe even a full round.
The next guy is Arizona State offensive lineman. Now you might have to help me with this. Max Ianaker?
I am terrible at those names.
Never heard of the guy. But he's 6'5", 321. He ran the 40 and 4.91, looked good during off-field drills, and he played at Arizona State, so not a lot of people know him.
Yeah. This is one that I think is going to split a lot of people. Reading about him, again, not having watched a lot of Arizona State football, all I've seen is kind of like YouTube clips, and I watched someone put together the 10 best highlights you'll see from an offensive tackle and the 10 worst, all on his film. So this is a guy that someone is going to say, it's in there. We see flashes of it. This is kind of like Caleb Banks. You see flashes of it, and we love the measurables and long arms, big hands, great athlete. We just have to find a way to clean up the film. He will be someone will take a shot on him, and half the draft will say he's a steal, and half the people will be like, that's a big reach.
You talking about the film reminded me of this. Did you see the whole bit that prospects are using AI now on their films?
Are they
yes,
really?
They are.
To make fake?
Yes, they're making fake vids, and coaches are falling for it.
Oh my God! I mean,
it's kind of like Brandon's audition tape here at the Fan.
It's not even real. Was that AI?
It was AI.
You do have a bit of a robotic kind of smooth voice.
I'm real.
Ooh, that was a good drop right there.
I'm
real, little chuckle.
Brandon's going to be on smooth jazz later on.
I might have a future in that way.
He's got good pipes. We're really doing.
Yeah, that's a thing.
I mean,
I don't know how you get away with it.
I guess it gets you.
It's kind of a dumb bit because you will get exposed.
You would think, but
once they see you.
I mean, I don't.
But maybe not.
Maybe coaches are dumb. Maybe it's just like once you get their attention, then you can watch the rest of it. And like I would assume you can't put together an entire AI tape, but if you got a couple highlights.
Yeah, but if you're trying to fool the coach, like the coach isn't gonna have anything to do with you.
I wouldn't think so.
The quarterback on the list here that worked himself into the first round is one we talked about the other day, and that is Ty Simpson. It says 23 years old, essentially 1 year of coaching experience. In that lone season, his play was volatile, but that could be attributed to injuries, which he'd been dealing with. Simpson did not do athletic testing, nor is he all that impressive physically. But the ball looked really good coming out of his hand in Indianapolis, and the ball placement was exceptional in almost every route.
Just don't get it. This will be one of all those guys. I understand taking shots on the athletic freaks at certain positions. I don't get Ty Simpson, and I think this is merely a product of people need quarterbacks, and there's one of them.
Yeah,
in this
that's
draft.
right. At the very end of his little blurb, it says, NFL coaches are the eternal optimists believing that they can cultivate the best version of any player, and they have seen Simpson play at a high level, even if it was a small sample size.
Yep.
And he's exactly right about that. That's it.
Just don't.
You see one game,
Yep.
You're like, and then you see him play. You see him at the combine. You're like, I can do something with that. Coaches are bad like that. That's a bad trait.
Well, it's the equivalent. Like if you go into a bar and there's one pretty girl and there's 32 guys, you can start talking yourself into a lot of other things, or vice versa, right? 32 girls walk into a bar and there's one attractive guy. All of a sudden, you start being like, well, I mean, think that guy's got a decent job, and that guy's at least not bald, and I don't know, that guy's got decent teeth, and you start looking for
Decent
other things.
Teeth.
He's got a good smile.
Have you ever been complimented on your teeth?
I've not been complimented on my hair. You will start looking you'll start looking to convince yourself, because if you need a quarterback, there's going to be that panic.
As long as there's a flash there,
Yeah, that's all
they
you
get
need.
wide-eyed.
Yeah.
And then the last guy on the list of the 5 NFL draft prospects who tested themselves into the first round at the Combine is Dylan Thieneman.
Yeah.
And it says Thieneman has some support as a first-round pick by some in the national media, but was not a staple. Given the way he tested in Indianapolis, combined with his production throughout 3 years at Purdue and Oregon, that will likely change. The rangy safety measured 6 feet and an eighth, 201 pounds before running the 40-yard dash in 4.35 with a 1.52 second 10-yard split. He also had a 41-inch vert, 10.5-inch broad jump. Arizona safety Traden Stukes is another who tested unbelievably well, but probably not to the point of first-round consideration.
He, in my humble opinion, we're talking about Thieneman.
Thieneman, yeah.
He may be the winner of the whole Combine. Again, plenty of guys solidified themselves as a first-round slot, right? Went in Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese. These guys were already top 8 players, then maybe they moved up and solidified themselves as 2 or 3. David Bailey, plenty of these guys. Dylan Thieneman was safety 2 or 3, depending on because Caleb Downs, right? Although there's some talk that maybe he got medical red flagged.
Oh,
yeah,
his knee, right?
Yeah, and again, who knows? There's a whisper. So someone's saying that the report got leaked. Other people are saying that guy's full of crap. We'll find out, because if he's still around there in the teens, then there's an issue, because he shouldn't fall. We'll see what happens at his pro day too, because he didn't test at the Combine. But Thieneman went in as a borderline first-round guy and possibly the second to third, maybe even the 4th best safety on the board. And he left as the number 2 safety, period, end of story. He made himself a lot of money, because it wasn't just the athletic numbers are off the charts. You listen to the NFL scouts that say when he was running the drills, it was everything you could want. And he also plays a position right now that the NFL has a bit of a longing for, and that's the nickel. Like, we're always hearing these things about the big nickel and guys, not want only playing 2 linebackers. You want a guy that can play in coverage. You want a guy that can disguise things. You want a guy that can come down and play in the box. And this is exactly what he did at Purdue, exactly what he did at Oregon. And it wouldn't shock me if he made himself $10 extra million with that performance at the Combine. He just hit it out of the park. Monster day for him.
All right, because we love college football here, and it's not really college football season, we're trying to corkscrew college football into the program.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, we already did.
How about more of college football? How about college football's next superstars?
Including a Oregon.
There's a duck on this list. We'll get to that next here on The Fan.
quick mathing for like Thieneman. So let's say now he goes 20th in the draft.
Who picks 20th?
I don't know. I just kind of did.
Who needs Thieneman in their lives?
A lot of teams want this. Most teams are looking for this nickel. But there was a corner nickel guy taken last year at 20th, Barron, the kid out of Texas. And I looked, and his contract was almost $19 million guaranteed, and he gets the 5th year. If you were to get that 5th year and they pick it up, that would be somewhere in that neighborhood of a $10 or $12 million bump. The 40th pick, so like the 8th pick in the second round, which is kind of where Thieneman was originally slotted. That contract, by the way, is about $9.5 million guaranteed. And that will go up with this year's salary cap, but that shows you the difference. That right there, going to the combine and having a good day and solidifying yourself as the 40th pick versus going there and blowing the doors off the place and maybe moving up into that 20 range, just that alone can be an $8 to $10 million bump, and that 5th year extension can be another $10 million if you play well in those 4 years and pick it up. So just to give you an idea of what that day meant to that young man, that's the sort of thing that going to the combine and testing when you're already a well thought of prospect, that's the sort of thing that can really, I mean, look, a $10 million contract changes your life. A $19 million one changes your life even more.
He is most commonly connected to the Seahawks, believe it or not.
Well, they've got some guys that they may be letting go, obviously, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
and he's versatile.
Yeah,
they like versatile
guys.
guys.
They love versatile guys.
And then also the Eagles, Lions, and Dolphins.
Yeah. This is the sort of player that, I mean, this is...
see him in Detroit.
Yeah, this is the new... this is the way NFL defenses are being built. It's, I hate to be, if you're a linebacker, sorry. How many defensive linemen can you throw at it, and how many DBs? You can't have enough DBs. You can't have enough defensive linemen. Keep them coming. And so someone that's this versatile that can play in coverage and can tackle and can play tight ends and slot receivers. They're just these are big chess pieces in today's NFL.
Okay, 13 budding superstars in college football. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
Were you prepared for this today?
I
don't think you were.
No.
I don't think Brandon was. I don't think anyone was.
No. Can anyone really be prepared?
Yeah, can you handle this list? 13? 13?
Why only 13?
I don't know. That's weird. Jaden Baugh, Florida. How about that? You know who that is?
I'm not familiar.
Quarterback.
Should I? Oh, he's their QB?
Nope, he's a running back. I was just kidding.
I was like, what?
Yeah, Jaden Baugh, Florida running back. They've got Wayman Jordan. You know, did you watch him at all, the USC running back?
A little bit. I mean, obviously we watched USC when they played.
Boy, he is dynamite. Wayman Jordan got hurt last year, USC, but before he went down, he was awesome.
Well, that makes sense then, why he would.
576 yards, 5 touchdowns. He ran for 6.5 yards a carry.
And USC would, I mean, USC is the team that a lot of people think is finally going to pop, although to the anti-USC people, they're just laughing saying, well, you've been saying that for years and years and years.
So they've got Josh Hoover on this list.
Yeah.
Quarterback at Indiana.
Yeah, and he's the TCU transfer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Indiana's kind of the new team where whatever quarterback they get,
yes,
we're automatically going to say they're in the Heisman talk because it's Indiana.
Well, he was a good player at TCU. He put up good numbers, and that's kind of what the last 2 years with what Kevin O'Rourke did and then Mendoza, it does feel like this is a little bit of the Sean McVay coaching tree. If Sean McVay farts on you, you will be a great coach. And if Cignetti decides to unzip his quarter zip there and sweat on you, get a little of that chest meat on you, you will be a big-time quarterback.
Well,
so,
it is true. Like, if you're a quarterback looking to transfer and Indiana comes calling,
why wouldn't you go there?
I mean, that's the new Oklahoma.
Yeah. Well, they run a very quarterback-friendly system, and so far it's worked really, really well. And Cignetti has always said that he doesn't care about the athletic freaks. He wants production. He wants older players that he knows can produce. And while at TCU, he didn't really elevate TCU, he put up good, solid numbers and is a proven commodity. And that's what Cignetti is looking for. the last 2 years he's built his
he's
house on it.
Developed back-to-back guys out of the portal.
Yes.
And one of them is going to be the number 1 pick.
Yeah, and neither one of them was very.
No, they weren't highly regarded. Mendoza was pretty good at Cal, but
he was all right.
And then who was the other one?
O'Rourke. And I think he may have came from. Did he come with them from James Madison?
I don't remember.
I'll take a look and see where he came from.
Well, I'd want to go play for Signetti. Sorsby, the Cincinnati quarterback who transferred to Texas Tech, he's on this list.
Boy, I'll tell you right now, this is one that I don't. I mean, I get it. It's Texas Tech. It's the same sort of thing. But I watched Cincinnati play a couple times. Not saying I watched a lot of Cincinnati, but every time I watched them, that was the Joel Klatt, like, doing the rock. Oh, Sorsby. And every time I watched him, I didn't understand. Oh, Mike Rocco. Always got confused a little bit.
I think here they're just, look, he's a quarterback with a big arm who is now on the best team in the Big 12. Yeah. Like, that's the best roster.
Yes.
So he's going to put up numbers.
Yes.
C.J. Carr is on the list. Everybody loves C.J. Carr, and he did show flashes last year at Notre Dame.
Yeah. He had nice numbers, and he wasn't, by the way, it was Curtis Rourke, sorry, and he came from Ohio to Indiana.
Oh.
So he was a mighty Bobcat, and then
he's in the NFL, yeah.
He's probably bumming around somewhere on a practice squad or as a backup someplace.
Yeah, he's with the Niners.
But the Sorsby one, you said it best. Because we did this with the Texas Tech quarterbacks this year. Dude, those guys weren't good. We tried telling everyone that would listen. When you watch them play, they're not very good. But you kind of play in a crappy conference where you beat the brakes off of BYU. And when you played a real defense, Oregon's, it wasn't there. So Sorsby will put up big numbers. And the question will become, one, how good Texas Tech's defense is again, because they lost a lot on the defensive side of the ball. And when they do play against the better teams, can you look like a competent offense? Because it was not this year when push came to shove.
Other guys on this list, breakout superstars this year in college football. Cooper Barcati, the wide receiver from Miami. If I'm pronouncing that right, I don't know.
So is he...
He was there.
Is that the...
He's from Duke.
Okay. So he came in with Darian Mensah then.
Yeah.
Because their quarterback is Duke's quarterback.
Oh, that's right. Mensah went there.
Yeah. So he probably came over with him. Kind of a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
I'm looking here. Yeah. 72 passes, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. That's pretty tasty. So, yeah, he was a Harvard kid to Duke, so he's a smart guy. You put that on the other side of Malachi Toney. Yeah. I see where that's because Toney will draw a lot of the attention.
That's enticing.
That's keep an eye on that.
Texas offensive tackle.
Yeah, that's that
Trevor Gooseby.
Yeah, people. He's like this enormous human being.
6'7", 312.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So that's one of those where the PFF, the Pro Football Focus guys, towards the end of the year wouldn't stop raving about that kid. They say that's enjoy him while you can, because they'll say that'll be a top 5, top 10 NFL pick. They love that dude.
Safety Ty Benefield, LSU. Benefield, LSU. He's coming over from Boise State. I guess.
Know about him.
Ellis Robinson, cornerback at Georgia, second highest rated corner in 24/7 sports history.
Yikes!
Behind only Travis Hunter. Oh boy.
Well,
watch out there.
that's
freaking Georgia. Sammy Brown, linebacker, Clemson.
Sammy Brown was, if you haven't seen, how do I put it? He was a high school, like his high school tape and like the videos of him are like the stuff of legend. He was like that kid. I think he placed, I don't know if he won both, but he was a state finalist in the 100 meters and the shot put.
Whoa.
He's like that guy. When you see him in high school, it looks unfair.
He was a wrestler too.
Yeah. When you see like high school video of him like working out, it doesn't seem like he should be a high school player.
6'2", 234.
Yeah.
They say he could have easily played running back, but he's a linebacker.
Yeah, he's stupid athletic, and he was getting on the field, and so that's a guy that, again, they just say will be the next great one. I think when he was coming out, it was like the Brian Bosworth thing. Like he does he wrestles and like he does like martial arts, and He's really good looking and supposedly like he loves Jesus and is like the nicest kid in the world.
Oh my God.
But he just
What's not to love?
if Tim Tebow played linebacker, apparently it's this kid.
And then you have Yanze Pierre, edge at Alabama.
Yeah, he's the next 5-star recruit guy that I guess has taken a little while to cook.
Defensive tackle from Oklahoma, David Stone. These are the breakout players, breakout superstars in college football next season. And on the list is Oregon tight end Jamari Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering where we were going with the breakout Oregon player.
Exactly. You could go a lot of different directions.
Yeah.
But they chose Jamari Johnson. He said, it says that Johnson is an athletic freak. Plenty of college coaches wondered if he'd eventually develop into an offensive or defensive lineman out of high school. He's both a high-level basketball player and a former QB capable of throwing the ball 70-plus yards.
Yeah.
He has an 82-inch wingspan.
He's a big boy.
At 6'5", 257 pounds, and he's plenty fast when you turn on the tape. You could even argue that that Johnson was the more effective weapon than Sadiq at times this season, particularly with his ability to create yards after catch.
I have heard from someone inside that program that believes that eventually he will be the better NFL tight end. That Sadiq, while a freak athlete, has kind of maxed out the body. Like he is a smaller athlete that has just made himself into just this bodybuilding looking monster. Whereas
he's super smart too.
Yes.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
Weren't they saying about Sadiq that
some of the best interviews they'd seen?
Yeah, all the interviews he would sit there and he would tell the coaches what everybody else's responsibilities were,
yes.
Which they don't often see at the combine. I guess.
But he's not great sized for an NFL tight end. He's adequate and he's strong as hell, and we know the athleticism. They were saying Jamari Johnson is a more fluid, and he's just a bigger guy. And he just said it was one of those things where they were like, dude, just no one's talking about him because of Sadiq. And the same thing, like Ferguson came before Sadiq, and Sadiq leapfrogged that. And yeah, he said
we were talking about Sadiq, though.
We were. And I'm telling you, last year there were people. Sadiq had the rep for a while at the beginning that he wasn't the most fluid athlete. And he wasn't the best catcher of the ball. He was just a great athlete playing tight end. And there were some people, again, that made the argument that for a while Johnson was the better weapon. Sadiq obviously proved that as the season went on to be false because he got better. And they got a 4 or 5 star transfer tight end from Penn State that they're all kinds of raving about. I think the idea is that Oregon is not going to be hurting for tight ends, and that Johnson could be the guy next year that makes you forget about how good Sadiq was.
Yeah, they're saying that he could be the top tight end in all of college football next year.
Well, again, like as the fact that you're 6'5", 6'6", and you're close to 260, and that's more of your natural size, that's kind of the ideal big NFL tight end. That's Gronk type size.
And those are the 13 budding superstars that college football insiders expect to take the sport by storm in 2026. Jamari Johnson. All right, coming up next, they are opening what they say is the largest food cart pod in the United States.
I do love a good food cart.
Where is it? You ask.
I'm guessing in Portland.
That will be next. But first, Brandon with Sports Center.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, we are a half hour away from the Blazers wrapping up a 5-game road trip in Houston tonight against the Rockets. Denny Avia and Chris Murray both have been ruled out. Tip-off just after 5 o'clock on KUNP, Xfinity Channel 1016. Portland is a 6.5-point underdog. Also in Houston tonight, Team USA begins their World Baseball Classic campaign against Brazil. Logan Webb from the Giants will be the starting pitcher for the Americans. That game will be on Fox at 5. The defending champs, Japan, dominated Chinese Taipei via mercy rule 13-0 earlier this morning. Shohei Ohtani 3 for 4 with the grand slam. In college hoops, North Carolina's freshman standout Caleb Wilson will miss the remainder of the season after breaking his right thumb during practice Thursday. Sources say Wilson has already had surgery and is expected to be cleared during the NBA pre-draft process. He is a projected top 5 pick. Some more player releases in the NFL today. The Texans granted running back Joe Mixon's request to be released from the team. Mixon missed the entire 2025 season with a foot injury. Lions offensive tackle Taylor Decker requested a release. He played 10 seasons in Detroit. And the Raiders are set to release last season's starting quarterback, Geno Smith, barring a trade before the start of the new league year. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks football, the Fan Sports Network.
All right, nice to have you along. Joey Harrington coming up next hour. It is, bloop, bloop, bloop. What is it? March 6th.
There you go.
How about that? Time flies.
Yes, it does.
2026, time now for In the News. I'm your noted newsman. Hello, thank you. Thank you. Please be seated. It is brought to you by the Advocates Injury Attorneys at advocateslaw.com. Today is Employee Appreciation Day.
We got bagels today.
And cookies.
Oh, but
Don't forget the cookies.
I don't think the cookies were for that. I think one
Well,
of the
they
manager's
were.
wives just made cookies.
Yes, but that was for Employee Appreciation Day.
Oh.
They were both for us.
Because
Oh.
he's in management.
Oh, okay.
But our main manager, the little general, Ryan Cooley,
Yeah.
he did order bagels for us,
I do
showing his appreciation.
I do like employee appreciation means bagels. I'm sure. And
Yeah.
we got 50,
At least it's something.
we got 50 Odyssey bucks.
I only got 20.
Oh.
I only got 22.
An Odyssey station.
Maybe
I
it
think
was
you only got 20.
maybe then I have 50 total Odyssey bucks.
How'd you get 50?
Well, I think
I only have 20
I think they give you 20 every year.
all time. What?
Yeah, like I think they give you and then you can get nominated. I had someone once give me 10 for some, I don't know.
What'd you do?
I don't know. I did something.
You got nominated for Odyssey Bucks?
Yeah.
Those are coveted.
Oh, it's
An
when
Odyssey station.
I wrangled the naked homeless guy out in the parking lot.
Lasers.
I sheltered people to their car, and I got Odyssey bucks for that.
Yeah, you could probably, with 50 Odyssey Bucks, you could probably get maybe a half a bottle of water.
I was looking to see if maybe because they what it costs. So they have a backpack. I was like, oh, bags are kind of fun. They're like 250 Odyssey bucks.
Well, you keep doing,
How does, by the way,
keep ushering naked homeless guys
how
out of
does
here.
dealing with a naked homeless guy so everyone can get to their car? How is that worth 10 Odyssey bucks?
You think more?
I
You
would-
think you should have got more?
I would think so.
I don't know.
We got 20 just for being employed here.
Now, can
right?
I-
An appreciation?
Can I disseminate Odyssey Bucks?
Yeah.
Like, can you?
Yes.
Can you just say, hey,
Yeah, you're allowed to give, I think, 50 to someone.
well, if you don't know, Odyssey is our parent company,
Yeah.
and they have this deal where you can, you do something good, or somebody sees you do something good, and they nominate you, and then it's this whole feel-good bullcrap.
Yeah.
And I only have 20. I've never been nominated. I just got 20 today because it's Employee Appreciation Day, and we got a big email from the super head cheese boss lady who lives somewhere in, I don't know where she lives.
I'm assuming Philadelphia, right?
And then, yeah. And she's like, hey, I appreciate you guys.
20 Odyssey bucks.
And then Ryan's like, here's some bagels.
I don't think you can do anything with those 20 Odyssey bucks, but yeah, because when I logged in, because I knew that I had received Odyssey bucks for the naked homeless guy, so I kind of thought, hey, maybe I have enough to get something. Turns out, no.
Who do you think has the most Odyssey bucks? And are they the worst person at Odyssey? Is that terrible?
I don't know. Well, I would like to know how many people across the company have actually redeemed the Odyssey bucks for anything.
This is what I'm saying.
Because
Like, who do you think? Like, surely there are people across, and our company's nationwide. We got hundreds of employees,
Yeah.
maybe even thousands. I don't even know. And I'm sure there are people that are really into it,
yeah, that's true.
like racking them up.
Like when you go to Big Al's and you save up for the
Yeah.
big stuffed animal.
Exactly.
Do you think someone is saving up for the Odyssey backpack?
Yes,
You know, there's an Odyssey hat that
Oh.
you can get.
I have one of those.
It's like 180 Odyssey.
They don't
bucks, though.
fit. They're like dad hats.
So you do.
An
have-
Odyssey
But
station.
you
No,
did-
somebody gave me
Oh,
one.
someone gave it to you.
It is also Middle Name Pride Day.
Steven. Lame.
Yeah, I know you don't like your middle name. Brandon, what's your middle name?
My middle name is O. It is short for my dad's name, which is Otis.
Cool. Wait, your
Everyone
middle name.
thinks it's hyphenated or abbreviated, so they just think that I'm lying and there's more than just O. But
So it's
it
not
is
O period.
No,
it's
is
just
the letter
O.
O. Yep.
Oh, that's
Kind of like
cool.
Dame, the letter O.
Can we call you O?
You can.
Have you ever thought about going by Otis? Because no offense, but that's way
No, that's
cooler.
why I gave it to my son to have as his middle name, so I don't have him going through the same struggles I went through.
Struggles, like
I
people
still-
not
I
understanding.
still love my middle name, but it's easier to explain when it's just Otis.
Otis,
instead
yeah.
of O.
So
But
your son, what's your son's name?
my son's name's Roman.
Okay. Roman Otis.
Roman Otis. Yep.
Nice.
Because I think Otis is kind of a cool name.
Otis is a great name, and I thank my dad for it. But
O.
I mean, O is, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
What's Steven's middle name, do you think?
Didn't we? We may have asked him about this once.
Does he even have one?
I think so. By the way, I have 60.
God dang, you're lapping the
I
field.
have half of that.
You have 30? I have 20.
The problem is that if you go to what you can redeem it for, 60 gets you nothing.
I think it's funny that you even looked at what you can redeem it for.
Well,
Yeah, the price jumps from 7 to 160 as the
Seven-
cheapest.
$7 or seven Odyssey bucks?
Odyssey bucks.
What do you get for 7 Odyssey bucks?
You can-
It's a cash contest. Like,
Yeah.
put in a bid
Oh,
to get
so
$1,000.
the Odyssey Premium Notebook is 160.
notebook.
Yeah. The Odyssey Mug, 175.
Oh, come on.
The Odyssey Boonie Hat, 180. And then if you're looking for that Odyssey duffel bag, that's going to run you 225. And then the Odyssey Bento Lunchbox, ooh, baby.
Wait, what's a bento lunchbox?
It's like a little, where you can, it's like one of the cold, you can put like hot or cold food in it.
It's
What
an
do they
adult
call it?
lunchbox, basically.
Bento.
Well, bento's
Just
like
because it looks like a bento
yeah,
box?
it's like where you get a little chicken and rice thing. But if you're looking for that Odyssey Stanley Cup, 325.
It's chicken.
Yeah, those things are popular.
So I'm just saying, I don't know what you have to do to get like 100 Odyssey bucks, but I contend that dealing with a naked homeless man terrorizing the parking lot should be worth more than 10 Odyssey bucks.
Are you sleeping with Cooley?
To get my 60 Odyssey bucks? Don't worry
Yeah.
about what
Why
I'm
don't you get
doing.
those Odyssey bucks?
Don't worry about what I'm doing. I already told you. What have you done to
Nothing.
get your,
That's why I
exactly.
said I have 20.
That's why I got mine. I got 60.
I'm going to start sleeping with Cooley.
Like 7 more years and a couple more homeless individuals, and I'm going to get me that Odyssey backpack.
The self-proclaimed largest food cart plaza in America has soft opened in Vancouver, Washington.
Hey, look at us.
Are you kidding me?
Where are we at?
Are you kidding me?
Don't talk to me. I need to know. Are you kidding me? Is this the new waterfront?
It is called the Vancouver Station Food Cart Plaza. Developers say their food cart pod is the largest in the country with space for over 40 food vendors, a coffee shop, ice cream shop, private rooms, and more.
I wouldn't think that 40 is the largest in the
I
country.
thought the exact same
right?
thing.
I mean, that seems like a lot, but
It's a lot, but not a lot.
it doesn't seem like that's overwhelming.
The location is 1817 Southeast 164th.
Dude, that is right in my
by
neck
your
of the
house.
woods.
Yes. They're still looking for vendors to fill the plaza via the application page on their website. There are a couple photos, and it looks pretty cool. There's, it's pretty much entirely indoors.
Yeah.
There's a big bar, TVs.
Dude, this looks pretty kick-ass.
Yeah, it looks pretty modern and a bunch of, sort of family-style seating. You just go get what you want. And
I wonder if this is an expansion, because there is one up in that area already that's kind of cool.
Fire
but
pits.
it's indoor, and it's got maybe 8 or 10. And we've gone there, we've ridden our bikes up there during the summer. I wonder if is this going to put that one out of business, or did they just expand upon this? I don't know.
Good question, Wheels. I don't know.
Right now, they only have wings and waffles.
That's it?
They have one.
That one?
I'm on their website. Just says wings and waffles.
Yeah, that'll fill up. 164. There's a lot of people out that way.
Yeah.
A lot of people looking for lunch.
Dude, that's maybe a mile from my place.
Bro, you're going to be a P1.
Let's go. And then I head over to Gustav's for some schnitzel afterwards.
Well, we all lose an hour of sleep this weekend. I hope you know that.
Yeah, but we get more sunlight, and that's worth it.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
2 a.m. Sunday.
Yeah, look, you're not going to notice after a day, you won't notice the hour gone, but you will notice it not being dark at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't even really ever feel. I mean, maybe
Yeah, you're fine.
maybe it's a thing that you don't really notice, but it's a part. Yeah, your body is.
Well,
I don't know. I've never really noticed
It's
it.
Saturday, right, at 2 in the morning?
Well, Sunday.
Sunday. Well, yeah.
Saturday night.
Saturday night. So this is what you do. You get really drunk on Saturday night, tie one on, pull an AHA video up to your bedroom, stumble home, pass out, and when you wake up, you won't care. You tell me you
Yeah,
wake.
you'll have bigger problems.
Yeah, you got bigger problems. And
Your
you're
head's
like,
pounding.
yeah, you look down at the phone. You're like, it's 10. And it's not like you're gonna be like, oh my God, it's actually 9. No, you wake up, get some coffee, and be good to go. Alcohol, is there anything that it can't solve?
Fish on the road. That story next on The Fan.
This is the Fans Win
All right, this is In the News, March 6, 2026. Lawmakers are scrambling to pass a bunch of bills down there in Salem, as it is the last weekend of the legislative session.
Got to cram them through.
And they did vote in the House on on Senate Bill 1051, I think is the number, which is the framework for the funding.
You honestly could have said any number there, and no one would have known.
I know. I thought it was 1501, but I think it's 1051. Anyway, that's the Moda Center project. And they did pass it.
Yeah, they released a statement saying they were, all the standard. They were, very excited. It's a great day for our community, said Dwayne Hankins. Said thank you.
Oh, that's the Blazers president.
Yeah. And he said he thanked the speaker, the majority leader, all the people, Governor Kotek, who has championed Oregon's arena from the very start.
No toll, Tina.
Thank you to every Oregonian who has weighed in throughout the legislative process with stories about what Moda Center and the Blazers mean to them. Rip City truly does run deep. This is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to renovate Moda Center, catalyze economic growth in the heart of a vibrant, lower Albina neighborhood. Working with local leaders, we're ready to get started on the next chapter of the franchise. That from the Portland Trail Blazers.
Well, at least they figured out that they needed, to renovate it and
yes,
and voted it through.
All that crap. People were worried about. We never give anyone public money, and as you stated a million times on this, just let it play out, and it passed. $600 million, and
aren't they taxing
it's all going to be.
It's all coming.
It's all going to be people that
players.
From players and people that are around the arena and
performing
all of that.
there.
Yes,
that type of thing.
Yes, it should not affect if you live out. If you live outside of that and never go down there, in theory, you won't feel that burden. In theory.
There's that.
So hopefully we can put the whole Portland moving thing to rest.
Yeah, till the new owner comes in, he's like, "What is this? $600 million? I want a new arena."
There is,
There's that possibility.
there is that possibility where he laughs and says $600 million. This thing starts at a bill, gentlemen. Sorry about the ruse. Maybe some of that Panda Express money. Get them to kick in.
Don't be surprised to see fish on the road in Bandon, Oregon. If you're headed down for golf this weekend, maybe.
Why are there?
There was a fish spill.
Well, that's no good.
Yeah.
Poor fishes. I'm assuming they were already dead.
They were.
Still.
But that's a lot of good eat.
It is good eating. What kind of fish?
It doesn't say.
It depends. Like if it's a crappie fish, I'm like, whatever.
I bet it smells terrible.
Yeah, it can't be good.
Coos Bay officials responded to a report of a fish spill near Walker Lane on Seven Devils.
Seven Devils.
Authorities say one deputy cleared the road to the best of his ability, but the pavement remains extremely slick. Please drive carefully.
We out of that fish slime. I do like that one single deputy was out there. Think he was using the foot wedge, or do cops have fish removal? My buddy's a cop, and
are they trained as fish removers?
Well, when you go into his trunk, he's got all kinds of cool stuff in there. If you've ever gone to
what's in there that we wouldn't know is in there?
Well, you got first aid kit, and then there's riot gear.
There's probably a crowbar.
Yeah, there's all kinds of fun stuff in there. I think there's an axe. It's a fun.
What's that for?
Well, you might have to bust down a door. And then you got a baton, and there's some. It's kind of fun when you look in there. I think there's some netting, and
some fuzzy handcuffs.
Yeah, I would hope so. Some restraints. I think there's a straitjacket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I could see that.
So the question becomes, is there fish removal tools, or do you use the old foot wedge?
The old foot wedge, yeah. I think you just kick them up.
You just kind of, it's yes.
They probably have a bunch of rubber gloves, right?
Yeah, you got rubber gloves.
Yeah.
You kind of yeet them. If you wear the rubber gloves, you just you throw. I'm not going to lie, I'd stop and watch that. If there was one cop.
You wouldn't help?
Well, I don't have the rubber gloves.
Well, you could use your feet.
I'm not trained in fish removal. Am I getting Odyssey bucks for
Something
it?
tells me that guy isn't either.
I'm just saying, if I'm driving down the road and I see one cop throwing fish, I might slow down a little bit. Take a little look-see. Give him a thank you for your service.
Now, would you be so desperate as to pocket a couple of fish and grill them up? I mean, it looked like they were all ready. They were almost like fillets.
Look, I'm not going to lie. If there's a nice piece of whitefish,
It's just laying on the side. I mean, you know,
You could
you
get
could
me.
cook the.
Yeah. Well, you can cook out the gravel.
Yeah. Yeah, you can cook out the gravel.
It depends on what. Yeah.
Just slice off the top.
Again, depending on what it is. Nice piece of white fish. Not much of a salmon guy. Smoked salmon, maybe. I'm not above.
I'm losing my taste for salmon.
I'm not above. Yeah, me too.
And I don't know why. I'm with you. Like, the whitefish is just far superior.
It's delightful.
But I started with salmon. I used to love salmon, and now I don't.
I like smoked salmon.
Yeah.
You put that with a little cream cheese, put it on a cracker. It's good. Again, I think, not saying yes, I'm also not saying no. I will tell you that of the meats, like, what are you more likely to pick up? Like, I'll pick up a road steak.
Yeah, so if a bunch of steaks just fall off a truck,
I'm taking
a few steaks.
Yeah. Hamburger, probably not. I'm leaving road hamburger where it's at. But a road steak? Yeah. Deal with some road steak. Road fish, 50-50.
But you don't, well.
See, road steak is easy to scrape
I mean,
off.
I guess you are cooking it, so.
You should be
But
fine.
you don't really know. Like, what if it's all the bad steaks from. What if it's all the salmonella chickens?
Yeah, you gotta roll the dice. You see, you don't pick up road chicken. No.
No, not at all.
Road chicken you leave alone. Road chicken might be last. But road steak, road fish, yeah. You roll the dice on that. See what's up.
That's your In the News, March 6, 2026, brought to you by the Advocates, injury attorneys at advocateslaw.com.
Bro.
A lot of headlines today, a lot going on. We'll get to it next on The Fan.
Hey, John, why so
From the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the fan, we are minutes away from the Blazers taking on the Rockets tonight in Houston to wrap up a 5-game road trip. Denny Avia and Chris Murray are both ruled out. Starting 5 for Rip City: Holiday, Henderson, Kamara, Grant, and Klingon. Catch the game on KUNP Xfinity Channel 1016. Portland is a 6.5-point underdog. Also in Houston tonight, Team USA about to take on Brazil in their World Baseball Classic opener. Logan Webb from the Giants will be the starting pitcher for the Americans. The defending champs Japan dominated Chinese Taipei via mercy rule 13-0 earlier this morning. Shohei Ohtani 3 for 4 with a grand slam. In college hoops, North Carolina's freshman standout Caleb Wilson will miss the remainder of the season after breaking his right thumb during practice on Thursday. Sources say Wilson has already had surgery and is expected to be cleared during the NBA pre-draft process. He is a projected top 5 pick. Some more player releases in the NFL today. The Texans granted running back Joe Mixon's request to be released from the team. Mixon missed the entire 2025 season with a foot injury. Lions offensive tackle Taylor Decker requested a release. He played 10 seasons in Detroit. And the Raiders are set to release last season's starting quarterback Geno Smith, barring a trade before the start of the new league year. More sports and scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of Primetime with
All right, welcome back. Hope you're having a nice little Friday. It is your sportsman. My name is Isaac. Hello. Big Sook's right over there.
Oh, dude.
And we have BYU Brandon on the controls today. Steven is out for the day. He'll be back Monday.
Good evening.
BYU Brandon's doing a great job. You sound like a natural on those sports snorts.
A lot of people giving some flowers.
You sound great.
Thank you.
You're doing a great job.
You're not going to get any Odyssey bucks or anything for it, but
I think I just saw Luke Anderson
Yeah.
give me 10
Yeah, me
Odyssey
too.
bucks, so that was
Yeah,
appreciate that.
this is the late breaking news, guys. We have started a scam, and it's great. So Luke, we were talking about Odyssey bucks, which is the stupid bit our company does for some reason. You can just
you can everyone has 50 Odyssey bucks to give someone, and then if you build those up enough, like if you do something exceptional at the company, you get Odyssey bucks, and then you can exchange them. Even though no one has enough Odyssey bucks to exchange for anything, you can get a hat, a backpack. There's a duffel bag at some point.
So they encourage you to do nice things and have other people give you Odyssey bucks, help out around the office, whatever.
Yeah.
And Luke Anderson, and as most know, he thanks me at the end of his show every day. I am an integral part of his program.
Yes.
He has finally rewarded me with 10 Odyssey bucks for that. And he put #courage.
Yeah.
So I now have 30 Odyssey bucks. However, I am going to send 10 to Brandon because he does a great job of turning down the background music when he's talking on his sports snorts.
Yeah.
So he is about to get 10 from me.
Now,
I'm going to be back down to 20.
You cost yourself 40.
You're welcome.
You cost yourself 40 Odyssey
I don't
bucks.
want your handouts.
I was going to give Isaac Robb all 50 of my Odyssey bucks to give.
Oh.
And I put down the reason why for excellence in the field of courage.
Thank you.
And as I went to put it in, I put a 5, and Rob goes, "Did you just give me 5 Odyssey bucks, you cheap ass?" I hadn't had the opportunity to put the 0 in, and I said, because of that attitude, 10 Odyssey bucks.
Well, at least it wasn't 5.
You play your cards right. Maybe the rest of the show.
Hey, it says now I have 130. Are people just... So here's what I think we should do. They're just sending me Odyssey. It's like the time when I said, hey, you guys should Venmo me.
$1.
And a bunch of people did.
$1, right?
Yeah, I got like $50. Anyway, Dusty pointed out that we should all just start sending each other Odyssey bucks and game in the system.
Yes.
Why don't we do this?
Well, we all have 50 to give, so...
Let's give them to each other.
I tried giving it to you, and your piss-poor attitude I had to take some of them back.
Oh, man.
You try to do something nice for someone, and I got the 5, and I got called cheap.
Well, I have to put up with you every day. You should give me more than 5. Cheap ass.
I tried giving you 50.
All right. Here's what's going on. We have some sports news. There's a lot going on today, actually. The USA is about to get underway in the World Baseball Classic here in moments. They're playing Puerto Rico. Is that right? Or no, they're playing Brazil.
Yeah, Puerto Rico is.
Yes, that's right.
Puerto Rico is playing right now. They're playing Colombia.
Yeah. And the Blazers play tonight. They're getting ready to get underway in Houston. And we will not have a Denny Avdia sighting.
No.
He is.
And this will be, I believe, he is officially out of any postseason recognition, most improved player, all NBA, which probably means you've seen the end of Denny for the rest of the year. Because
no play-in Denny?
Yes.
That's my favorite Denny.
I'm
Denny.
guessing Denny is getting ready to shut it down, but we shall see.
Jason Tatum is back tonight.
I'm sweating this one out a little bit.
Okay, so the Celtics are up 58-53 on the Mavs at half.
Yeah.
And the Big Zucchini somehow found it wise to bet against Jason Tatum's point total.
It was 11.5 was the point total.
For the game.
And they said he was only going to play somewhere between like 10 and 20 minutes. And he started the game 0 for 6. And he had played 11 minutes. And I was like, dude, candy from a baby. Son of a gun, over the last like 3 minutes scored 5 points. Now we're sitting at halftime, 14 minutes he's played, 5 points. He's hit his last 2 field goals after going 0 for 6. I felt great with the 0 for 6 start. I'm not going to lie. I'm sweating the 5 points.
It's all about how many minutes he plays.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that.
So if he only gets like 5 more minutes,
I hope
you should be maybe good.
Put down $20 on it just to see what happened. I need something. I wasn't
betting Odyssey bucks or real bucks?
No, it was real bucks. No, Odyssey bucks, I would have laid the whole lot on it. I don't know. I hadn't bet on anything today, so I just was like, I didn't think he was going to play that much. And, like, he's got to be rusty. Hit those last 2 field goals, including the 3.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
He was rusty like Justin Thomas. He came back. He's at the Arnold Palmer. He's like 12 over par.
Loser.
Yeah. How does he even golf? What else? Oh, we have another trade.
Who got dealt in the NFL?
Yeah, the Patriots are trading their center to the Bears because the Bears center just retired.
Yeah, like 28 years old.
Yeah. So Garrett Bradbury has been dealt from the Patriots to the Bears.
There were some
for a 5th.
There's quite a few free agent centers on the market, so there was a lot of speculation that maybe the Bears were going to go after that, but there's a lot of people that have cap space, and so maybe that was just kind of one of those didn't want to pay the freight. Because the Bears did a great job. They completely revamped their offensive line, and then Dahlman, who was the best of the free agent centers last year, they gave a bunch of money to. He just shut it down. Like 27, 20 years old, said, thanks, I'm out.
The Texans are going to grant Joe Mixon his release after they signed or they traded for David Montgomery.
Yeah, they got Montgomery, and then Woody Marks had a nice rookie year, and we still don't know why Joe Mixon didn't play last year. I don't know if we've ever seen someone miss an entire season and no one knows why.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah. Sounds like he's got some issues.
Well, he's a weird guy, but they said he was hurt. So.
Yeah, he wasn't hurt.
Yeah,
or he probably was initially, and then.
Yeah, it just says due to a freak and mysterious injury. I don't. What does that even mean?
Maybe he shot himself in the club like Plexico Burress.
I'm guessing that would be a freak and mysterious foot injury. I think he shot himself in the leg. I think.
Was it the leg?
I think Plexico winged himself.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, shot himself in the leg.
And how about this? Former Michigan football coach Sharon Moore agreed to a plea deal. They have him down to 2 misdemeanors.
Really?
And they dropped all felony counts.
Wow.
Yes.
Boy, it's good to be a coach with some money, huh?
Yes.
All that's it?
Yeah, it says he will plead no contest to 2 misdemeanor charges in exchange for the dropping of a previous felony count and 2 separate misdemeanors. The plea agreement centers on Moore's actions December 10th following his sudden firing. We all know what happened.
Yeah.
But,
you think he just did I was out of my mind. Like, didn't he threatened that gal with a knife or threatened himself with a knife, I guess, right?
I love his attorney. All the initial charges against Mr. Moore were not supported by facts of law.
Oh,
The
my
dismissal of those
God.
charges validates the concerns we raised about the investigation from the very beginning. Mr. Moore is pleased to put this behind him and move forward.
I did see the little I saw the little photo. He was holding hands with his
yeah,
wife.
she's staying with him.
Boy.
How did he survive that?
So he's misdemeanors, not doing jail time, and he gets to keep his wife?
God.
You think she's just waiting for for this to settle, then she goes for the divorce?
Now, his sentencing is April 14th, and they are saying that he could still face up to a year in prison.
Okay.
But
No,
it
if he
is
gets-
not likely.
Yeah, I mean, even if he gets any jail time, he'll be out of there. He'll be out of there.
Yeah, this
in
says
2 weeks.
ESPN talked to attorneys unrelated to the case, and they all said that they do not expect him to serve any time.
Although, he's got to get the Art Briles treatment, right? Like he can never coach
Dude,
again.
if he coaches again, the second you ever say anything about anybody going down in flames,
Yeah.
I am bringing him up and saying, dude,
Yeah.
you never know. This dude threatened to almost killed his lover.
For ratting him out after stalking her because she was like, please just leave me alone, and using university funds, and was also,
Didn't
by
he have
the
a
way,
knife to her neck?
he had a knife. I don't remember. He broke in her house with a knife, but I think he was threatening himself with the knife, perhaps, although
No, I thought he said, I'm going to kill myself, or I'm going to kill you, and then I'm going to kill
I'll
myself.
have to look at the details of that. Although his attorney will tell you that, hey,
No facts.
no facts.
Where are the facts?
He was also messaging a bunch of prostitutes and like DMing them,
Bro.
offering them like Michigan season tickets and whatnot. You know where he's gonna coach next? There's only one place.
Liberty.
Something tells me over the next year.
Second chances.
Something tells me over the next year he's gonna find Jesus. My guess is Jesus isn't looking for him, but he'll find Jesus, and then he's going to go down I'm a changed man. I admit my weaknesses. And he will end up being the offensive coordinator at Liberty University.
Absolute wow.
And the wife somehow sticking by him.
Wow.
Wow.
Your wife's sticking by you after that one, is she?
Well, I would hope so. But I would never do that. Okay?
Something tells me I'm not certain. Maybe that's a good woman he's got there.
Also, Caleb Wilson, North Carolina's star freshman,
Yeah.
done for the season.
Yeah.
He will not return.
No.
They kind of suck anyway. Well, they don't suck, but they aren't going anywhere. Don't bet on them in the tournament.
I've only seen them play. I saw that they had a really it was a great ending with Duke a couple weeks ago. It's the only time
Yeah,
I've
it was
seen
a nice
It's the only
comeback.
time I've seen North
But
Carolina
they're not that good.
play. Yeah, he had a thumb, got tendon in his thumb or something that he had surgery on.
So Joey Harrington in 10 minutes. We are back with the greatest Moda Center memories on the Fan.
Dirt and spray. Dirt and
Okay, we're going to get to Joey Harrington here in just a few minutes. He is fresh off the combine. But I was thinking, they passed that Moda Center bill, and I was thinking to myself, what do you think is the greatest Moda Center moment? Is it the Damian Lillard? Well, I guess, would it be the Damian Lillard Houston shot? Would it be the Damian Lillard Wave Oklahoma City shot?
I think it's the Wave shot.
You think that's better than the Houston shot?
I think so. I think I work for the Blazers. I've watched every home game this season, and every season ticket member that we highlight says that the Thunder shot is their most favorite moment. So I think that's the more memorable moment.
Yeah. I tell you, that Houston shot was.
Well, I mean, no, it didn't go well, but I mean, you had the Western Conference Finals team. There wasn't a moment during that run.
The 4 overtime game.
Yeah, the 4 overtime. I mean, I'm just trying to think, because those games, I mean, there had to be it. I know that because the Lakers series didn't go the way you wanted it to in Game 7, but there had to be some cool moments during that at Moda. Because Moda Center was built in what, 90?
Mid-90s?
So yeah, that would have been. Would any of their final appearances have been with Clyde? That all had to be.
No, let's see.
Would that all have had to be?
Yeah, that would have been before.
Before.
But the second group,
so
the
Moda Center,
Rashid and all those guys, that'd be at the Moda Center, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would. Yeah, it was built between 93 and 95, so it would have started in. Yeah, opened October 12, 1995.
So the
right after those years.
The Western Conference Finals of 2000 against the Lakers.
Yeah, I was gonna say that has to be something.
Well, it does, but I'm saying
I don't know.
Moment,
I'd have to
there's nothing as iconic as the Lillard buzzer beaters. There's nothing besides maybe a Weird Al Yankovic show or something.
I don't know if Weird Al ever played Moda.
You know what the first?
I've seen a lot of great concerts there.
Do you know what the first concert there was?
I do not.
David Bowie and 9 Inch Nails.
That's pretty cool.
1995.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. I mean, I've seen so many great concerts there over the year, but I don't think those necessarily count. I mean, we've had everyone from Bowie to Springsteen. I mean, you name it. If it's big, it's come through there. So I'm assuming it's a sporting event, and so yeah, unless it's something in those conference finals teams.
Barack Obama rally of see, I pulled this up on ChatGPT. It says Barack Obama rally 2008 campaign rally there.
Okay,
don't even remember that. Martell Webster's 24-point quarter.
What was the Brandon Roy comeback too? Was that on the road? Remember he came back in the it was against
Dallas.
That's Dallas. Was that in Portland or was that in Dallas?
I think that was here.
Was
it? You might be right. That might have been in Dallas.
Again, I'm terrible at this. I do not have one of those. I'm always jealous of those guys, those sports guys that are like, oh yeah, it's 2006, and I know he had that one last great moment for B. Roy, and I don't remember if it was in Portland or not.
It was here.
It was here.
It says that it was called the Miracle Minute, a rapid late game comeback against the Mavericks.
So I mean, that's got to be up there.
Maybe.
I mean,
no, there it is. 2010 Game 4 comeback versus Dallas. 2010, just days after knee surgery.
So
that was
awesome.
That was a top 5 moment for sure.
Yes,
I think it's the Lillard buzzer beaters, man.
Well, and Lillard means so much, and those are fresh in our memory. So maybe it's just those. Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up the combine with Joey Harrington coming up next. But first, Brandon with SportsCenter.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a SportsCenter update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop, a great spot for any occasion. And don't forget, you save 10% on your Butcher Shop order when you dine in. Menus and more at laurelhurstmarket.com. First on the Fan, Blazers taking on the Rockets tonight in Houston to wrap up a 5-game road trip. Rip City up 30-18 in the first quarter. Catch the game on KUNP Xfinity Channel 1016. Also in Houston tonight, Team USA battling Brazil in the World Baseball Classic opener. The Americans up early 2-0 in the first inning. Aaron Judge with a 2-run homer. The defending champs, Japan, dominated Chinese Taipei via mercy rule 13-0 earlier this morning. Shohei Ohtani, 3 for 4 with a grand slam. In college hoops, North Carolina's freshman standout Caleb Wilson will miss the remainder of the season after breaking his right thumb during practice Thursday. Sources say Wilson has already had surgery and is expected to be cleared during the NBA pre-draft process. He is a projected top 5 pick. Some more NFL moves today. The Patriots agreed to trade center Garrett Bradbury to the Bears for a 5th-round pick in next year's draft. This comes 3 days after Chicago center last season, Drew Dahlman, announced his retirement. The Texans granted running back Joe Mixon's request to be released from the team. Mixon missed the entire 2025 season with a foot injury. Lions offensive tackle Taylor Decker requested a release. He played 10 seasons in Detroit. And the Raiders are set to release last season's starting QB, Geno Smith. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher. Every pitch matters. Every inning counts. It all starts tonight at 5:30, and the series continues Saturday and
I mean,
It's like the best convention city. It's the
I
middle.
was about to say, like, everything is you can walk it's like Minneapolis, where you can literally walk from your hotel to the convention center to the Lucas Oil to indoors tunnel system, like tunnels, sky bridges, the whole deal.
It's easy for people to get to, like New York versus California, kind of middle of the country, and then the MRIs. It's a big deal. They have a lot of, for whatever reason, Indianapolis has a ton of medical centers, like centrally located. That's like the thing that people don't realize about the combine is half of that is, I don't remember exactly, but I want to say I had 4 or 5 MRIs when I was at the combine. And you get
You ready for this?
You what?
Jalen Daniels, quarterback from Kansas. The old Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
yeah, Jaden Daniels.
What did I say?
Well, I think you said Jalen, and isn't that the Washington Commanders quarterback? Or do I have it backwards?
You have it backwards.
No,
I have it
Jalen.
backwards.
No, it's Jalen.
Yeah, Jalen.
and- Jalen. That's
Should
what
I
said.
know that?
You probably should know that, Rock Chalk. Just saying. Jaden
Yeah.
Daniels is the Commanders quarterback.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Anyway, the point was, we started medicals on Thursday, right? And then we got to dinner on Friday night, and I was like, dude, I haven't seen you in a while. Like, you good? Like, you all right? What's going on? He's like, I spent the last 2 days at the hospital. I was like, what do you mean? He said, 11 MRIs and 4 x-rays.
Wow. Well, that makes me feel like a giant wuss because I know I had a bunch.
I was like, what have you been doing?
11.
He said, back and forth. And then I sat there for like 3 hours while I waited. And then we came back. I can't imagine doing 11 MRIs in 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. And then, like you said, there's all the x-rays that go into that. And then they go and pull you apart. That's like I've never been more sore in my life than after that, then they say, go run. Like if you're a guy.
Who was it one of the offensive linemen said that he actually, a year or two ago, said that he couldn't run because they aggravated something in his knee or his ankle because they were pulling too hard.
I was like shocked. Like when it's one thing if you don't have a medical history, but when you have like red flags, dude, they don't go light. Like they pull you apart, and it stinks. But you have to have all those MRIs within a certain point, and then you have to have the big MRIs, the open ones. And I guess Indy's like, well, I hate to say it, but I think there's a lot of bigs in Indianapolis. You know, the Midwest hardy people, so they have a lot of those big open MRIs that you can send the big guys to because they can't fit into tubes.
What are you saying?
Well, look, having been to India a couple times, I don't think there's not a lot of vegan restaurants and like outdoor running trails.
He's saying Midwest people are fat.
Yeah, a lot of golden corrals and such.
Does the MRI machine freak you guys out?
No.
It used to.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It used to. It used to get. First time I got in there, and like I had my elbow. They put like my elbow in like in the foam thing to keep it still. But then it like started cutting off the circulation because you're in like that little tube, and then like my arm went to sleep, but the top of this thing is like up against my nose. I started getting a little claustrophobic there.
Yeah.
The first one I ever had was on my neck, and they put a cage on your head.
Ooh.
And like it goes around like it goes under each one of your armpits, and then it's like a cage and like a mask, and then you have to like they put pillows under your armpits to like kind of bring your arms in so you can fit in the tube, and but after that, then everything else was fine. Like that was my first experience, and I guess it was like deep end stuff because after that one it was like whatever. Like, and then most of the time I did get the big guy one, and then it's not scary at all because it's open. The tube's the only part of it that's freaky.
Well, the other one, like if you've got anything lower extremity, well, they just put your knee in, and then your head's hanging out, and you're fine.
Yeah. It's not bad. So
it's really just laying there and knowing you can't lift your head up.
Yeah, always
I just take a nap.
Yeah, put some headphones in. Hopefully, take a little snoozy snooze. Yeah. But yeah, that's the part of the combine that people don't appreciate, and for a lot of people, that it's the most important part. If someone's going to invest a lot of money in you, they got to make sure that you're not going to fall apart. And if you do get red flag, then thanks for coming. I don't care what you ran. It's like get to the back of the line.
It is an interesting phenomenon. Like, I can't remember if we talked about this last week, but you've got 15,000 people sitting in a football stadium watching people run and jump in their underwear.
Yeah.
Like that's really what it is. And then the worst, like, how about this? So there weren't many running backs at the combine. They just didn't extend as many invites this year. Started, and there were a couple guys who didn't do certain things or were injured. And so they got through their drills faster than they expected. Mm-hmm. They were done with I don't know whether they did shuttles first or they, did whatever. They were done at 12:30, which you would think, hey, let's just roll right into running our 40s because the guys are warm, they're stretched, they're ready to go. Like, this is about optimal performance. Oh, no. TV had the 40s scheduled for 1:09 p.m. So they had to sit there on the sideline for 40 minutes to wait until TV told them it was okay to start running their 40s because people at home wanted to watch. And I'm thinking, like, at what point, like, I get it. Like, we're monetizing. This is a business. The owners want more, they don't want 1 billion. They want 7 billion. That's fine. I get it. But you are doing that at the expense of the performance of the guys who are trying to break their way into the league. Like, that just didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's not necessarily the ideal conditions, but it is the conditions, and the top guys can afford to not do it. I'm always surprised, like Betcher didn't do anything at the combine. He did the position drills, but he didn't test at all. And like I'm always interested in that. Like, he's not a guy in theory that tells teams, no, I'm not going to do this. And I don't know if there was a nagging injury or, you're hiding something, whatever. But it's for the top guys, they can do that. But for the most part, if you're not a top 10 pick, you got to get out there and you got to run, whether it's ideal or not.
You'd think so, but there are a lot of, and I know the wide receiver class is really, really deep this year, but there are a whole heck of a lot of wide receivers that didn't run. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
you worked with the first half of the alphabet of quarterbacks?
The A through, who was the last one? A through K.
K, yeah. So did you watch all the quarterbacks throw or just your guys?
I left actually right after my guys were done.
Oh, okay.
So I did not see the second half.
So who amongst your guys? You said last week you were looking for the guy who could spin it. Who spun it?
Drew Aller.
Back to Drew Aller. You like
Carson Beck threw it well. I do like Drew Aller. I think that I like him. I liked him as a person a lot. I don't know how that translates onto a football field, right? I don't know how that translates into a locker room, how all that works together. But I thought he was great. The interesting thing, the two guys that tested, like, obviously Taylon Green was historic, the second fastest combine in the 40 and broke the vertical record, 6'6", 240. I mean, just a freak. And then the one that got overshadowed because Taylon did so well was Haynes King, who ran himself. He ran a 4.45, I think, which is like top 5 or 10 in the history of the combine for quarterbacks. Both of those guys ran extremely well. And neither of them were very fluid throwing the football, right? And so there's I don't know why that always seems to be if you're slow, then you can spin it. If you're fast and athletic, it doesn't jump like the other guys. I don't know why that's always a thing.
I always have a working theory on it, and because I'm often perplexed, like Tim Tebow or Jake Locker, any of these guys, Anthony Richardson, it always blows my mind that they're like these freak athletes. And at no point in their life did someone show them proper mechanics how to throw a football. I've never understood that. And my working theory is that kid has probably been the greatest thing to ever step on a field of every field he's on. And so I don't think there's ever someone that really tries to craft him. It's like you see the guy that's got a pretty ugly golf swing, but it works for him. And they just kind of let it go. And then eventually you get to the NFL, and unless you're Cam Newton, it doesn't work. That's my working theory, is that there's guys that have to develop proper mechanics to get leverage and know how to throw the ball and ball placement. And then there's other guys that just walk on the field and are like, I got this. And the natural talent, no one ever pulls them aside and really tries to tear it down. You just let the kid go, because every level he's the best player on the field and he wins.
Yeah. And look, I was telling Rob this last week, because you obviously were gone at some Metallica concert or something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that.
No, you were here. We were both here last week.
Well, it was 2 weeks ago then. Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago I was gone.
Oh, you were? Yeah, I get them all confused. Anyway, some guys you can just like it. There's a difference between throwing form, right? The literal mechanics which you use to throw a football, and then whether or not you're natural, whether it jumps. Yeah. Right. Some guys just, and I believe you can teach the former, but you can't do anything about the latter. Right. Either it jumps or it doesn't. Right. You're either a natural 3-point shooter or you're not. Right. And within that, you can craft it to a certain point. But there's some guy, and I would actually go the other way and say that, like, you're such a good athlete, and you throw the ball just fine, but we got to have the ball in your hands. So, like, we have to have the ball in your hands, so we're going to make you a quarterback. Like, that's almost what it feels like to me.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's always been my working theory, because I'm also perplexed by it. I've never understood how the best athlete on the field that plays that position can't throw the ball. I also will never understand why the NFL continues to make it happen. It baffles me why we fall in love with the guy with wonky mechanics who's not accurate, that can't really process information real fast, but he runs real fast, and so we think we can make him a quarterback. It just continues to amaze me that the NFL doesn't learn their lesson, that 99 times out of 100, that doesn't work.
Well, because we've seen Michael Vick and we've seen Randall Cunningham.
Yeah.
We've seen guys who are so good at that. We've seen guys that if you can do it, having that as a weapon is absolutely extraordinary, right? The difference between Michael Vick and pick a guy, I mean, Daniel Jones, right? You know, it's night and day. So if you can catch that lightning in a bottle, God, I know why people try.
Yeah. Well, again, I think there's been about 3 of them that have ever worked in the 40 years that we've been trying to make this happen. And, you know, and by the way, none of them have ever won a Super Bowl, but you do get varying degrees of it. And 2 of them actually learned to play the position later in the career. I don't think Cam ever said it, but I know Cunningham when he got to Minnesota and Vic when he got to Philadelphia, both have basically said the same thing. I wish someone would have taught me how to play the position much earlier in my career when I had the physical ability. Both of those guys learned to play the position and had some phenomenal years after the athleticism had kind of gone away a little bit, and, you know, just never quite got over the hump.
That's fair.
Okay, I want you to think about the next question over the break.
Okay.
And it is, if you were to start the Joey Harrington NFL quarterback factory is probably not a good word, but symposium. Okay, so you're in charge of making NFL quarterbacks better, but we'll give them to you at any age, and it's like the Canadian hockey system. Okay, so we're completely changing the system in the U.S., and we're starting to prepare quarterbacks for the NFL earlier and earlier. You're in charge of it. What are the most important things that you would emphasize at the Joey Harrington preparing quarterbacks for the NFL symposium / academy? There we go, academy. Okay, you got it?
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I only get one commercial break with this.
It's the Derek
You can do
It's
it.
the Derek Zoolander Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good and want to learn to do other things good too.
Yeah, you can do
How
it.
do you
can do
expect me to answer the questions if they can't even fit inside of the building? That's an academy for ants.
Has to be at least 3 times this size.
All right, we'll be right back with Joey Harrington, courtesy Mods PDX on the Fan. play in the NFL is somewhat of a problem. Like, could the league better create a pool of quarterbacks? It goes in line with what you guys were talking about last segment about college quarterbacks being unprepared or certain athletes that aren't quarterbacks not being taught. So I'm going to put Joey Harrington in charge of the Joey Harrington Prepare Quarterbacks for the NFL Academy. What age are you starting, and what are you emphasizing?
Boy. So there will be a certain amount of this preparation that is just general athletic funness. That is what we're calling it. We're calling General Athletic Funness 101.
GAF 101.
Wait, what did you say? J?
GAF. General Athletic.
I thought you said JAF. I was like, dude, you are struggling today. General Athletic, and that's probably going to go from age 5 until 12. Okay, and that is, let's go throw a football. Let's kick a ball. Let's play catch. Let's swing a golf club. Let's run out and hit a tennis ball. Let's play some croquet. Like, let's move your body. Let's move your body in different ways and understand how this all works and have fun in the process. Because like we talked about a couple weeks ago, it doesn't matter how good you are if you don't want to do it anymore once you're 17.
True.
Then from that point, I think it becomes you start working on mechanics. Like, you start putting that throwing motion together. You start getting it to the point, you start fine tuning. All right, how you're starting to grow in, because you got to remember too, like, throwing a football at age 11 is significantly different than throwing a football at age 16, simply because the size of your hands, the size of your body, like, your strength changes, right? So you start, I don't think you really start fine tuning that throwing motion until you start hitting like 13 and then into high school. But I think the biggest thing for me, and it's why for so long, you never saw the run and shoot guys, you never saw the air raid guys make it in the NFL, because, and they, let me say that has changed now, partly because the way the NFL offenses run has changed, and they've incorporated more of those type of concepts into it. But there still has to be a level of decision making, and decision making at a rapid pace. And in order to make an incredibly quick decision, you have to comprehend, you have to know, it has to be second nature, right? It can't be, I wonder what I'm seeing. Oh, that's what I'm seeing. I guess I'll go here. It has to be, I see the safety take 2 steps to the right. Therefore, I know that is where I'm going with the football, right? So, and that is that's a film study thing. That's a that is what's the word I'm looking for? There's physical coaching. That's mental coaching.
Sure.
Right? That is an understanding of, because if I'm creating the best possible NFL quarterback, and this is the story that I've told you 100 times. It's me going to Rod Woodson after he picked me up. He was at the end of his career and had moved from corner to safety, and I had the read, I had the route, I knew exactly the coverage. Like, he's in quarters, I'm going to look him off. I got an inside seam that's going to take him out of there, and then I get dig coming underneath, and I look it off, and I come back and I throw it, and boom, he picks it off. And I asked him after the game, I said, you got to help me out here. Like, what is it that I did? Did I tip it off? Was the wide receiver split? Was he too tight? How did you know? And he just said, kid, I've seen that route every day in practice for the last 14 years. Like, you're not going to fool me on that. And so a certain level of success in the NFL isn't about physical speed, isn't about release, isn't about, all those physical traits. It's about simply knowing where to be and why you're going to be there, right? So, and that's why Peyton was so good, right? That's why he could come in at, and chuck it everywhere, get picked off, learn his lessons in year one, and then come back in year two and be rolling, right? Like, that's why Drew Brees was so good at 5'11" on a good day. Like, that's why these guys, that's why Tom Brady could play until he was 40. Wow, what was he, 46 or something? Like, because they could process information faster than the other players out there, because they already knew what was happening. So the first part is love of the game. The first part is love of sport, is just developing your ability to be an athlete and move your body. The second part is fine-tuning your skills and building your strength. But then I think the most important thing for a successful NFL quarterback is being able to identify and quickly identify and react appropriately.
And right there, I believe in my heart of hearts, that is the one, it's not fun, it's very difficult, and it's the hardest thing to do in all of sports. That right there, which is why there's not many people that do it.
Well, can you teach it though?
Yes.
Like, is that like
talk to the quarterback?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, so we're having you create this academy, and it's interesting to me that the last part of it is that I would think a lot of it would be that. But can you, like, would you just have a bunch of flunkies, or could you, if you change the system, because the college game does not. It just doesn't prepare quarterbacks for what you're saying, it seems. So if we completely change the system to the Joey Harrington preparing quarterbacks for the NFL Academy, presented by Isaac Ropp, title sponsor.
What are you paying for that title sponsorship, by the way?
Probably a lot.
Jersey placement? What do we?
But can you teach that?
You know what's interesting, real quick?
Yeah.
This reminds me of something. There was an interview about 6 years ago with John McEnroe. And John McEnroe was trying to change U.S. tennis. Because we don't have good U.S. tennis players, I guess. We just don't produce them. And McEnroe was trying to change that because the Europeans have academies. They teach it differently. And it was on HBO. I think it was when HBO Real Sports was still around. So a number of years ago. And someone asked McEnroe, he goes, well, why don't we just do the European model? And he said, the U.S. kids aren't willing to do it. And that's what Tom Brady always said. He said, you can do what I do. You're just not willing to do it. You might be able to teach it, but I think the bigger question is, can you get kids that are willing to do what it takes to actually learn it? Because it's a lot harder to do that than it is to learn any other aspect of that position. And it's not fun.
Yep. And that's why I think you have to teach that out there. You can't tell a 13, you can't put a 13-year-old in a classroom, right? And say, all right, let's play football. Well, what do you mean let's play football? We're sitting in a classroom and it's dark and I've got a piece of paper and a notepad. We're going to go play football, right, Coach? No. We are playing football. It's right here at this table. And see that film right there? We're going to stare at it for 2.5 hours, and you're going to take notes on body language and foot position and which way his hips are going. And when you have a shade over the nose, you get up under center. All right, quarterback, Isaac Ropp, you get up under center and you see the first thing is there's somebody lined up just on the right side of your center. And what you think, okay, that means that, because that guy is there, by my percentages, I have this pressure coming from the strong side. Well, I look to the strong side of my cue on the outside backer, and he is there. Okay, so now I look to my weak side safety. Which way are his hips going? Well, he's trying to fool me. He's got his hips open to the right, but I bet you at the snap of the ball, he's going to flip him to the left. Yep. Bam. There it is, which means I go here, right? That's the stuff
can I get my golf clubs? I'm out. I'm out of this class.
I used to sit in these rooms, because an O-lineman, every now and then we'd get to, you sit in there for protection purposes, right? So, and I thought what we did from a protection standpoint was fairly complex. I was in charge of making calls. When I would have to sit in on the quarterback rooms, and this is just college, but we ran a pro scheme, but certainly nothing like we ran in the NFL, like with Gruden. I remember sitting in those rooms and just thinking, God, I'm glad I'm not a quarterback. And I was a pretty smart guy when it came to football stuff, man. I tell people all the time, you have no idea what it's like to process that information in 2.5 seconds and then have someone trying to hit you in the face.
Well, so here's what it is. It's understanding the protection, the stuff the offensive linemen have to do. You get up, you have a shade on the center. What does that mean? Okay, I got an under front. Okay, under front, I'm likely going to get a two-man off, two off the front side. Let's go super basic. I'm going to get a zone blitz, right? Okay, so I'm going to get 4 off the front side. The weak side end is going to drop out into coverage, and the shell's going to roll over the top. Well, what if what's the key in the thing? So if that happens, you know how to block it. Right? Great. That's where your responsibility stops. But on the snap of the ball, that's where the quarterback's responsibility starts. Because snap of the ball, I see the front, the safety goes here. That means I'm going here. But wait, is he pressed or is he off? Because if he's off, the route doesn't convert. But if it's on, it does. Like, these are all of the things that have to happen within about 2.4 seconds.
Yeah. And therein lies the reason why they hand the ball to an athlete and say, run around.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So apparently it can't be done.
Well,
you think it would work? Something like that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
I do. The problem is you'd end up, and now we're getting back to that same conversation, is what happens to the nine. Yeah. Will it work? Will you develop the most incredible football player, the most incredible quarterback? Absolutely you will. But you'll also develop, if you got 100 kids in that room, you'll develop that one who's going to be an absolute Hall of Famer, but you're going to develop 99 who end up as failures, right?
Yeah.
Because you couldn't hack it, because you couldn't cut it, and now, now what does their life turn into? Like, I just have such a hard time with the academy system in general. Mm-hmm. But you can't deny that, it's like any job. If you are trying to be the best at your job, if you are trying as a organization, as a European football club, if your job is to develop the best football players to play for your Premier League club, then absolutely that's the best way to do it. And you're going to have some casualties along the way.
And
right?
and coaches aren't going to get fired over this. I played with an offensive lineman. I won't mention his name, but he played with Michael Vick at Virginia Tech, and he would tell hilarious stories about their offense. And there were a lot of times he said it was the most simplistic thing you've ever seen in your life. And he said a lot of times Michael couldn't get the play out. And so Michael would just tell the offensive lineman, run block left. And the players knew to kind of elephants on parade. And you just knew he was going to pull the ball down and run. And so for Frank Beamer, you're going to sit there and tell Michael Vick that he can't do that. And he has to run through all his progressions, blah, 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 and get your teeth kicked in and lose games. Or do you let Michael Vick say, guys, just block to the left. I'm going to keep this and go play for a national championship. And that's what they did.
Or, okay, let's play that full circle thing. And let's bring it back to what Suk said at the beginning, right? How many teams keep drafting these guys who, are never going to do it? Well, you get a guy who can is he going to do it in 2.4 seconds? No, but he can do it in 3.5, maybe 4, right? And so let's say half the time he gets through his progressions, half the time he makes the right, he knows where to go with the ball. But if he's a good enough athlete, the other half of the time he can get himself out of trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what they're trying to find, is somebody who's not going to necessarily make the perfect play every time, but somebody who can get himself out of trouble and doesn't make a big mistake.
All right, good convo. We'll see you at the golf show this weekend.
Ooh, there's a golf show?
Yeah, Portland Golf Show.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, see you there.
No, we won't shut up. Well, actually, we do. We got to go to break.
Yeah, we will shut up.
We will shut up.
But yeah, no, it's at the Expo Center this year, I think.
Stop talking, and I will see you there.
Yeah, okay. Have a good one.
Goodbye.
Bye. That's Joey Harrington, courtesy Mods PDX. The future of building is here. Now, if the Nukes, I hate to have to cover this story.
Yeah.
But listen,
we're all gonna die.
Probably a pretty good time. If the Nukes start flying, where are the safest places to go?
Oh,
I have the info.
Isaac Rob's house.
Coming up next on The Fan.
From the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Blazers taking on the Rockets right now in Houston to wrap up a 5-game road trip. Rip City led by as many as 13 in the first quarter, but the Rockets caught fire with a 16-4 run and now lead 57-56 at halftime. Catch the game on KUNP. Xfinity Channel 1016. Also in Houston tonight, Team USA battling Brazil in their World Baseball Classic opener. The Americans took an early 2-0 lead in the first inning thanks to an Aaron Judge 2-run blast. Brazil answered with a solo shot to make it 2-1 and is now 3-1 in the bottom of the third inning. In college hoops, North Carolina's freshman standout Caleb Wilson will miss the remainder of the season after breaking his right thumb during practice Thursday. Sources say Wilson has already had surgery and is expected to be cleared before the NBA draft. He is a projected top 5 pick. President Donald Trump held the first Saving College Sports Roundtable today in the White House with other politicians, sports celebrities, conference commissioners, and university presidents to help restore order in today's college athletics. Trump said, quote, "I'll have an executive order which will solve every problem in this room." And in the NFL, the Patriots agreed to trade center Garrett Bradbury to the Bears for a 5th-round pick in next year's draft. This comes 3 days after Chicago center last season, Drew Dahlman, announced his retirement. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the firm of Harris.
My mom is adorably racist. Can you grab yours? Is it long enough to really?
Some places. Welcome back.
I hate to report this, but
Oh no, who died?
Jason Tatum has 15 points.
Nice bet.
One of us is $20 poorer.
How many minutes has he played?
He's played 27.
Yeah.
They told
What did they say? 14, 15 to 20?
The report said, yeah, between like 11 and I think it was like 11 and 18 minutes.
Yeah, see.
He starts out 0 for 6 in 11 minutes, and I'm safe as kittens. Next thing I know, son of a gun's got 15 points and playing damn near 30 minutes.
You're talking to a guy who enjoys a sports bet, okay?
Yeah.
And what I have found is that the NBA is next to impossible because you just don't know who's playing, and even if we knew he was playing, but we now don't know how many minutes he was going to. It's a total crapshoot, and it can change it can turn on a dime.
And this is why gambling is so great, because a quarter and a half in, I'm staring at 0 for 6, and I couldn't have been more confident. I'm like, oh, it's 2 field goals before the half, and then you're sweating bullets, then he comes out and catches fire. The hell, man. It's a great comeback story, but not for my sake.
We went along with Joseph.
Yeah.
Good convo tonight. Enjoyed that. But we must move on. We're going to talk about nukes. Some uplifting material.
And now for something completely different.
But
let's get to the nukes.
Well, no, we're not going to yet. We're going to do that next. But real quick here, I'm seeing where I was reading through Britney Spears' situation.
Yeah, she's got the Dewey, right?
She did, yeah. And so did Dylan Brooks, by the way.
Brooks.
Did you see his mugshot?
Well, there's video now. He blew 0.0, but he was high as a kite.
Yeah, dude, he's wasted.
So they're doing the they got to get the blood test on that. But yeah, Brittany got a DUI, which kind of shocking. We haven't seen one before now.
Yeah, they're saying. Well, I just figured she didn't really drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe get driven around. I mean, she can barely. She does like naked knife dances, like in her living room. She probably shouldn't.
Yeah, I actually don't even picture her ever leaving her house.
Yeah. I just know if you see Britney Spears on the road and you ask yourself, is she drunk? The answer is probably yes.
Or wasted.
Yeah, one of the two.
Well, anyway, they're saying jail time possibly for her.
Oh, why?
Isn't that? Yeah, exactly.
Does she have like kids in the car or something? Or her
don't
kids
know.
are all older.
Yeah, I just think that's
Britney
kind of dumb.
Spears isn't going to jail for a D. It's
Well,
Britney Spears.
She's definitely not because it's Britney Spears. But
Yeah.
I just mean, like, why would you ever put Britney Spears in jail? Doesn't Look, I get it. If she murdered somebody.
Yeah. Or if you have like a bunch of these.
But I just mean, come on. That's not a criminal.
Yeah,
she's just a mess.
Yeah. Maybe take away a license.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can you imagine like Britney Spears picking up trash on the side of the road, doing a little community service?
Would you like to be on that duty?
Well,
with
I don't.
her?
No, I don't want to be picking up trash, but
Well, wouldn't it be fun to be like somehow be put in the same room with her and you have to get to know her?
I'm not certain.
Serenade her songs to her.
Yeah. Now, are you a big Britney guy, Brandon?
I was a little growing up. I was kind of growing up in the NSYNC Britney
I
Spears.
was gonna say she's in your era.
That was my
She was a big deal,
youngin'.
man.
Yeah, dude, I'm all right. I don't need to be.
You wouldn't want to sit down with Britney Spears and chat it out.
No, she's insane. She's all pilled out and.
Well,
she's
that's the whole point.
Well, no, that's not fun. I just find Britney Spears to be sad. Like she's a sympathetic figure. I don't need to.
Yeah.
I don't need to walk on that.
You've seen
grave.
enough.
Yeah. I genuinely feel bad for her.
You're tapping out.
She didn't have a choice. Can you imagine how many? This is gonna sound bad. Okay, she's not bright. Okay, and she was very young. She came to fame when she was like 14 years old. She was like kind of a poor gal from Louisiana, and her parents pimped her out. Can you imagine what that young girl has? The same thing with Bieber. I'm pretty sure when you become famous like that, one of the reasons you become famous is she has had horrific things done to her. I mean, there's like a whole montage clip of both of them, Bieber and Spears, when they were like 15, 16, like going on talk shows and having the most uncomfortable sexualized questions. And they're like going to parties with all these people. Dude, they were passed around like a bottle of liquor. And then we wonder why both of them are shaving heads and freaking out and dancing naked in their homes. I genuinely feel bad.
All right. Now for some more uplifting material.
Nukes. Hey.
Listen, here's the thing.
Everything's going great.
Well, here's the thing about Nukes.
Yeah.
The thing about Nukes is,
They're not good.
well, they're terrible.
Yeah.
But they exist.
Yeah.
It's happened before.
Well, twice.
And what is in the U.S., like, we don't really have any knowledge of what it would be like if we were nuked.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. There is a book that I will tell you. It is one of the more haunting things that I have ever, because I do books on tape. It is one of the more haunting things you will ever read or hear. And I think it's going to refute what we're about to talk about. The quote, safe places.
Yeah. So there are 4 safe U.S. states. Well, safer U.S. states that you want to be in during nuclear war.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
You ready to guess?
Well, I think we should probably do that after the break.
Well, that's what
I'm ready to guess. It's not Alaska.
No.
No.
Why wouldn't it be Alaska?
Oh, well, that's Russia. That's one of the first places they're going to go kablooey. Didn't you hear of Governor Palin?
Wouldn't that be kind of a waste, though?
No, we have big military bases up there. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of dumb. We should take over Greenland.
I think we're working on that.
All right, we'll get to that coming up next on The Fan.
Now, here's a quick look at Portland traffic.
All right, hi. What are you doing?
Like the people I love, I really
finding
love.
that book.
But if I don't love you, there's no love for me.
The name of it.
We're missing Steven already.
Yes.
Not loving us.
He's knee deep in fifth graders right
He's
now.
at a fifth. Whoa.
But he is.
Whoa.
He is.
He's at a fifth grade basketball tournament.
Yeah. Well,
State
fourth
tournament.
and fifth grade. I mean, it's a big deal. State championships on the line.
So dumb.
If you want one of the more haunting book experiences you will ever read, you can see interviews with her too. She spent this gal, Annie Jacobson, spent 15 years interviewing military people, scientists, and she wrote kind of the definitive look at what nuclear war would be. And it's called Nuclear War: A Scenario. She's an investigative journalist, and it'll send chills down your spine, and you realize just how close we've come in the past, and certainly you could see a path in the near future where we could get there again.
So this is the 4 safest U.S. states to live during nuclear war. This is a map called Nuke Map.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
It's instead of remember we had that rub and tug map. Now we got Nuke Map. Hey,
yeah, there's a map for everything.
There is a map for everything. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Timeout.
Uh-oh. What's happening?
Max Crosby just got traded.
Oh.
Do you guys want to guess where? Don't look it up.
Oh, okay.
Did you see this, Brandon?
I'm going to say...
I did not see this yet.
Okay,
No.
just happened.
Just happened. I'm going to say Dallas Cowboys.
I was going to guess Cowboys, too.
Nope.
Although they never do anything, so...
Looks like a 2026 and a 2027 first.
So 2 1s, right?
Yep. Oh, boy.
So it's going to be a team that thinks they're on the edge. So... I'm trying to think who has the money to pull this off. It wouldn't be the Rams. I don't think it'd be a dumb team like the Commanders. Maybe someone. Well, the Packers already did. Lions, Bears, maybe.
Nope.
This is breaking.
Max Crosby has just been dealt by the Raiders to. See the suspense I'm creating?
It is good suspense.
The Baltimore Ravens.
Really?
Yes.
This is very un-Baltimore-like.
Right.
Wow.
According to Adam Schefter.
Huh.
A 2026 and 2027 first-round pick.
That makes sense because that defense was struggling last year, and that's
Yeah,
kind of
totally.
the emphasis of.
They need a guy.
Yeah, they need
just
someone
have-
to kind of
yeah.
lead that defense.
They just have not been that team. They are the steady Eddie build, make small little moves here and there, go get Jadeveon Clowney at an affordable price. And, Green Bay was that way last year, too. They're that steady Eddie, and they made the big swing and you-know-what with Micah Parsons, and now Baltimore. Boy, we could have been here a while before I landed with Baltimore.
I know. They kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah. It
But
says
that's-
at least 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, there may be more, but
Yeah.
but according to Schefter's first tweet, ESPN sources, the Raiders have agreed to trade 5-time Pro Bowl defensive end Max Crosby to the Ravens in exchange for 2026 and 27 first-round picks. The trade cannot be processed until next week, but it is in place, and Crosby is expected to be a Raven with 2 1s back to Vegas.
Wow. Yikes.
Yeah,
huge,
yikes
huge
is
move.
right.
And by the way, good for the Raiders. It was a broken relationship, and he's not helping you win. You tear the thing down, and you rebuild with 2 1s. Now you got to start hitting on draft picks.
Yep.
There's
That's
only
big
one,
news.
only one way out of this this
You know
crap
what?
that you've been in for 20+ years, and that's you got to start drafting well.
But it's not going to matter because we're about to be nuked. And when we do, where should we hide? Where should we run and hide?
There is no place.
So I will tell you about that. I'll tell you about Nuke Map,
Kansas.
a tool.
And
No, we have.
Oh, you got the silos.
Yeah, there's stuff out there. They're going to want to. Yeah, we don't want that. You don't want to go there anyway.
You guys go to Canada. Who's nuking Canada?
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I mean, you could.
Head up there.
You could, but they're probably not going to let you in. We're all going to be fleeing.
It doesn't matter.
We're going to be diving into the Pacific Ocean.
It doesn't matter.
So we'll get to that coming up next. But first, Brandon with SportsCenter.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Blazers taking on the Rockets right now in Houston to wrap up a 5-game road trip. Rip City led by as many as 13 in the first quarter. but the Rockets caught fire with a 16-4 run in the second and are now leading 61-60, just starting the third quarter there. Catch the game on KUNP, Xfinity Channel 1016. Also in Houston tonight, Team USA battling Brazil in their World Baseball Classic opener. The Americans took an early 2-0 lead in the first inning thanks to an Aaron Rudge 2-run blast, and the score is now 3-1 in the bottom of the fourth inning. In college hoops, North Carolina's freshman standout Caleb Wilson will miss the remainder of the season after breaking his right thumb during practice on Thursday. Sources say Wilson has already had surgery and is expected to be cleared before the NBA draft. He is a projected top 5 pick. President Donald Trump held the first Saving College Sports Roundtable today in the White House with other politicians, sports celebrities, conference commissioners, and university presidents to help restore order in today's college athletics. Trump said, quote, "I'll have an executive order which will solve every problem in this room." And in the NFL, Isaac just broke it to you. Adam Schefter reports the Raiders agreed to trade 5-time Pro Bowler Max Crosby to the Baltimore Ravens in exchange for 2026 and 2027 first-round picks. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitch. And now Window Nation brings
Created by a professor named Alex Wellerstein. He is a prominent historian of science and nuclear technology. And he explains it as intended as an educational resource. It should not be used for emergency planning or emergency response purposes where lives and health might be on the line. It is not a perfect simulation. However, it is aimed at helping people visualize nuclear weapons in terms they can make sense of, helping them to get a sense of the scale of the bombs. By allowing people to use arbitrary picked geographic locations, I hope that people will come to understand what a nuclear weapon would do to places they are familiar with and how the different sizes of nuclear weapons change the results. So he's got this map, and you can go to nuclear. Oh, God. Why didn't he just do nukemap.com?
No one knows.
He didn't.
Well, it was probably taken by then.
Yeah, I own that. Nuclearsecrecy.com.
Okay.
It looks like. But according to NukeMap, western Texas, most of Nevada, Michigan, and Wisconsin.
That's where you want to be.
Would be notably in the clear.
Oh.
According to those who analyze the data.
Where is number one where you don't want to be?
Great question.
Because quite frankly, I would rather be there. I have no desire to be in West Texas or Wisconsin. I want to be slim picking stuff. Just put me under the bomb and just get it over.
You want to be like ground zero.
I want to see it coming down and just. Have you ever seen Rogue One?
No.
It's the best of the modern Star Wars movies. Just be that. I want to be on the beach and just watch it come and just raise my hands and be like, here it is. Willem Dafoe platoon style. Freaking come and get me. Here we are. Because I'll tell you what, those people that get hit, they got a hell of a lot better than those people in West Texas, I can assure you.
So this map shows civilian, military, and infrastructure targets according to FEMA. And it shows the U.S. cities most at risk during a nuclear attack based on this data. According to the Red Cross, even if a nuclear attack wasn't in your direct area, you would likely have to shelter for at least 24 hours unless told otherwise by authorities. In some circumstances, you may need to shelter in place for as long as 1 month. So that's pretty uplifting.
I think you're sheltering for more than a month.
So now, to NukeMap, it appears that the worst place, because you said, what's the worst place?
Or in my case, the best place.
Yeah, the best place. Well, it appears it's D.C.
There you go. Then just...
You don't want to go there.
I do.
I mean, you do, but I don't. And then all up and down the eastern seaboard, I mean, looks like Philly, New York, all those are not good. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of places in the U.S. that, I mean, you know, there's going to be no nuke.
Yeah, the problem is, like, I guess if some terrorist put, like, a suitcase bomb.
Right.
But we have, like, when you read through that book, I guess we have a launch protocol. So if someone launches against us, and China and Russia, Pakistan, everyone kind of has this where everyone knows where the nukes are. So once that goes up, all the countries that are big nuclear powers have about 6 minutes to decide to launch. And all modern countries have an all or nothing. It's like it's use it or lose it, basically. Because you know that once that's on the way, you're done. So everyone launches. And you just get the crisscross applesauce. And when those hit, it doesn't matter. Everyone's dead. And then the nuclear winter starves everyone out after that. They said like a full-scale war between two...
Will you just play along?
between
God,
two nuclear powers.
You're so... Jesus.
It's just... Well, we get around... Like, I hear people talk about this, and you're like...
Well, you're going to try to survive. Are you not?
No, I'm not.
I am.
You're going to outlast that 10-year nuclear winter, are you?
I'm not saying that. I'm just going to say I get survival instincts, man. So then West Coast is bad, too.
That's bad.
Yes, if you go northern Florida is really bad. Northeastern Florida, I don't know what's there.
Yeah.
But that's not good. L.A., San Francisco, all of that, terrible.
Yeah.
Portland, Seattle looks... There's
We
worse.
just stick around long enough for the mutants, right? Some Fallout shows.
There's worse, but I will say West Texas. And
Hey!
this map shows the sort of the what do you call it? Like depending on the size, like he said, depending on the size of the nuke, the
radius.
fallout.
Yeah, the fallout radius.
And I tell you, West Texas, not bad.
That show, that neighbor show on HBO you were telling about, those are those donkeys. Like, didn't they go out to West Texas for that? Or it might be Oklahoma.
I think they were.
It might be Texas.
I don't remember.
Yeah, they because they're out there because they believe that the nukes are coming, and so my dude's out there like digging a hole in the ground, thinking he's gonna be fine.
And then Northern Nevada, and then shockingly, Michigan and Wisconsin. If you get up north,
you're okay,
dude. You're fine. You're fine.
You're like,
start a new civilization up there. Be great.
Seriously, that book did change my whole view on it because then it went from like where do you go to like just put me in the middle of it and we're good.
Sounds like fear mongering to me.
Yeah, it's just fear mongering. So I guess the temperature of the sun. So the modern nukes we have are way bigger than what we dropped in Japan. I guess the core temperature of the sun is 15 million degrees Celsius. That's how hot the core of the sun is.
Somebody said West Texas looks nuked already.
It's already there. The temperature inside the mushroom cloud, would you care to guess what that is?
What did you say the temperature of the sun is?
15 million degrees.
Million?
15 million
that's
degrees.
Not bad.
Is the temperature of the sun.
Good little tan.
Inside, so that cloud, they said that goes, like, in one of the modern nukes, you're probably looking at somewhere between, depending on the size, 4 to 9 miles of that.
Yeah.
Of that.
You said 15 million degrees.
15 million degrees.
I'm going to say it's going to be something crazy, isn't it?
It's hot. I mean, but it is the core of the sun. I mean, imagine all of a sudden you're standing in not on the surface, you're in the core of the sun. So,
Oh, okay.
Within
so
reason.
it's going to be less. So 15 million, what did you say? 15 million degrees,
15
core of the sun.
million degrees is the core of the sun.
It'll be 7 million degrees.
180 million degrees.
Oh, damn.
Is the middle of the cloud.
I don't want to be in that.
So in there she says what's awful is when it hits, however big it is, let's say like 4 miles, everything in that 4 miles gets sucked up into the cloud and vaporized. So there's no buildings, concrete melts, and the worst part is if it hit, she talks about if it hit like DC, you'd get, 6 million people, 6 million people, and what that cloud, the fallout is the remnants of those people and everything else. It all goes up, becomes vapor, and then
I just feel
trickles on down.
This is all fear mongering.
It's not. It's science.
I don't think it is.
It really is.
You don't know what you're talking about. You sound very apocalyptic. This sounds very Mormon. No offense, Brandon. This sounds very Mormon.
108, the core of the sun, 15 million, and it gets up to 180 million degrees.
I just offended Brandon.
They do the. Do you have the prep? Do you have like your food and everything, the water?
No, I'm poor, man. I don't have the prep.
If you were rich, would you have a?
I would have something
bar?
prepared. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I say as my wife would probably handle that because I'm lazy.
Now, to be fair, the temperatures on the ground, if you're outside of the cloud, that's only going to be about 6,000 degrees.
Oh.
So
bring a beach towel.
You're fine. It's no big deal. The other part too is they said that the EMP blast, anything that did survive, like everything around it, like there'd be no electronics, no grid, no nothing. Everything just goes.
Good.
So, yeah, it's all.
I'll bring a book.
Yeah, you definitely want to bring a book. Just kind of hang out, chill, see what happens there for a while.
Well, listen. Just trying to have fun here.
That stuff terrifies me.
Well, apparently. You've read a whole book on it.
Well, I do enjoy too.
Look, we're going to be good. Our supreme leader will take care of us.
We'll be fine. No big deal there. Not at all. I do enjoy that the countries do have we all have the idea that you launch, we all launch, whatever. Like that just.
Yeah, I don't think that's the deal. Something tells me that's not the deal.
Well, I mean, if someone launches one,
the way I don't hear any applause for
if
that.
someone does launch on you, I mean, I get why. I mean, there's no coming back from that. She's like, well, might as well. Whoop.
Yeah.
But we love Tesla.
You got to control your brain. What? We love what?
Tesla.
I love Tesla.
It's all computers. I love how, by the way, that
political commentary incoming in 3,
but
2,
like
and 1.
we're back to the science thing. We're like, science.
Yeah,
fear mongering.
Pretty overrated.
Science,
don't you think?
Let's just stockpile these things.
Listen, there's a lot.
What could possibly?
There's a lot of information out there. I'll do my own research online.
Yeah.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers told me a long time ago to figure it out on my own.
When the guy that is
listen to Joe Rogan.
When the guy that's responsible for building it is like, yeah, I don't think we should do that. Someone should have listened to that dude. His little hat, that guy.
But the whales,
the whales, the windmills, driving them crazy. What up?
Why did you what up us? What is happening?
So move to West Texas.
Yeah. Or Wisconsin, northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan, or
that's better.
Northern Nevada.
Although that's very cold.
All of those places seem as if they've already been nuked. Yeah. But
I think I'd rather be in northern Wisconsin.
Of those 4,
right?
I think
the
northern Michigan.
Northern Michigan, right? You get good summers.
I think, yeah.
You cruise on down to the,
You got a lake?
Yeah. You do got a lake.
Things are looking up.
Things are looking. I'm going to get right on. I'm going to see what a 2-bedroom is going to run me in northern Wisconsin.
Yeah, probably not that much.
Northern Michigan.
Buy low.
Let's see what we got here.
All right, we'll wrap it up next on The Fan.
The Fan is live on YouTube.
I did look, by the way, Northern Michigan, not up in the even above the murder mitten. You know, because you had the mitten and then you got that little,
Yeah.
the little
Not
island.
a lot of people know about that.
No. Yeah,
It's a very hidden thing. Only we know about it.
It is, it's not as cheap as you would think.
Well, yeah, because it's probably very vacation-y.
Yes.
A lot of cabins.
Yes.
And,
So there's a lot of really high end.
Yeah.
But if you want like just end of the world stuff, now we got some value.
West Texas?
No. This up here, like if you want to be out in the middle of nowhere, like there is a piece in Northern, it's in Cornell, Michigan. You get 120 acres.
Okay.
You get a murder cabin, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 1,000 square feet. Now you don't have running water, but you got a well, you got a pump.
Little small.
But you do get 120 acres.
What am I going to do with that?
Well, you need space.
Well, I have to hunker down. There's just nukes.
But that's what I'm saying. You got space. It's the apocalypse. Like no one's around you.
Well, I know, but radiation.
250,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can get 120 acres
For 100. Yeah. For
250K.
Yeah.
up
Dude, you are in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
Now, if you want lakefront
I mean,
for the apocalypse.
yeah.
Okay. The best I can get you lakefront. I can get you 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Okay. About same thing. About 12 to 1,500 square feet. We're gonna run you about 350 to be on the water.
All right.
Yeah. So it's
$100,000 premium.
Yeah. And then they got like there's a bunch of like $1 million homes. Like there's some nice stuff.
Well, yeah, we need those because aren't all the Richies building bunkers? And
Yeah, they got the bunkers.
underground layers, and they're not stupid.
No.
Or maybe they are. They just have the money.
You interested in buying a converted church? Because I can get you that.
No.
8 bedrooms, 3 bath. You got some pews in there, right? $399.
8 bedrooms.
8 bedrooms.
3 baths with pews.
Yeah, it's a converted church. So if you wanted to do like an end of the world cult sort of thing, Brandon, I'm looking at you.
I mean,
Like-
an abandoned church is kind of a perfect place for a bunker.
Yeah, like if you wanted to go and like you're gonna need to rally support and you can become like you're a charismatic guy, do like a David Koresh thing up there.
Wow.
400,000 for 8 bedrooms, 3,600 square feet.
This really escalated. I just wanted to be in.
Look, you get a nice converted church.
Ew, that's ugly.
Well, it's a church.
That does look Koreshian.
Yeah, it does. But I could see you up there with a nice ROP compound.
Yeah, I don't have it in me. I like the $250,000.
120 acre.
Yeah, 120 acre. I can do a lot out there.
You can get cheap acreage.
I could
out
build
there.
a golf course or two.
120 acres. Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
You know?
Yeah, all the golf. Well, isn't there good golf in Wisconsin?
Yeah, great golf.
I mean, Wisconsin's right below. It's attached to Wisconsin. So
Yeah.
you just head on down there. I'm not sure how the upkeep's going to go on that, but
I got to get on this.
Someone asked me too. The Nukes are coming. What drink are you pouring, and what are you listening to?
Wait, can I answer this?
Yeah, go for it.
I already know what you're gonna say.
What?
You're gonna pour a White Russian, and you're gonna listen to Warren Zevon's. What's that song?
Well, there's
That
plenty.
you like? No, there's one. You always talk about it.
Yeah. Well, there's Mutineer and Keep Me in Your Heart for a While.
Maybe Mutineer.
Yeah. Mutineer is my funeral song.
Yeah.
You go Mutineer.
You're gonna listen to that,
Yeah.
and you're gonna drink a White Russian.
Yeah. Got me.
See, I know you better than you know you.
Yeah.
America.
You nailed that spot on.
Flags. Yeah, trucks, balls. Yeah, screw the learned people. No.
Why is that playing? Yeah, no, I know you.
Yeah. Put me right in there. I want to ride that bomb down. Slim, what is it? Dr. Strangelove. Let's get that cowboy hat on there. Ride that sucker in there.
Why don't you ask me what I'm drinking? You don't care, do you?
I was waiting for you to tell me.
No.
Well, probably because you're still thinking about it. Otherwise, you would have said it.
No, I just wanted you to ask me.
We have time.
Don't care. Hey, Brandon, nice job.
You don't have an
Thank
answer,
you.
do
It was fun.
What?
Yeah, it would vary. It would depend on my mood.
I would assume a nice scotch.
Probably pour some sugar on me. You know.
Brandon, would you drink End of the World, the Nuke's coming?
Yeah. Would you have some whiskey with us?
Did you hoist one with us?
Nah, can't do it.
That keeps you out ahead of it,
Dr.
doesn't it?
Pepper for the win.
Dr.
The world is ending.
Oh, dear.
Dr. Pepper for the win.
One last cold Dr. Pepper.
Absolutely.
Cold, crisp. He was drinking
Sober
one earlier.
Dr. Pepper.
Waiting for that exaltation on the other side.
With open arms. Yep.
Yeah. Hey.
Poor wayfaring man of grief, perhaps.
Exactly.
All right. Great job. Thanks for filling in. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, guys. Hope to do it
And,
again.
yeah, we will see you again. Everybody have a great weekend. We are back Monday, 3 to 7 on the Fan. Good night.
Friendships of stay.